Police have the authority, the ability, and the tools to determine if drivers are impaired by legal or illegal drugs. And because drug-impaired drivers can pose just as great a risk as drunk drivers, they face the same penalties, like the loss of their driver's license, a criminal record, fines, and more. A message from the RCMP, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Dive bomb into Canada Life Place to take on the Knights. Liam Greentree leads the way for the Spits. Jackson Cover has 3 points in 5 games against Windsor this season. Windsor. London. Next.
First day of spring, and welcome to Hully Gully Yamaha London Knights Hockey here on Rogers TV. I'm your host, Sophie Bernier. Tonight, the Windsor Spitfires are in town to take on the London Knights in the final regular season game here at Canada Life Place. The Spitfires come in just 1 point ahead of the Flint Firebirds in the race for the division title. They're on a 3-game win streak, and that includes a big 8-2 win over the London Knights on March 15th. So they're going to want to just keep things rolling in this final weekend of the season. Now the London Knights, they're coming off a 6-2 win over the Guelph Storm on Wednesday. Caden Hawkins and Ryan Brown each picked up 3 points in that game, and that win moved them into 4th place in the West. They sit just 1 point ahead of the Sioux Greyhounds, who are also in action tonight, making this a very important game for both Windsor and London. It's also a special night here in London because the Knights will honor their 3 overage players, Braden Clark, Caden Hawkins, and Jesse Nurmi. Without further ado, let's take a look at our starting goaltenders, brought to you by Byron Optimist Club. Starting in net for the Windsor Spitfires is Joey Costanzo. He has a goals against average of 2.15 and a save percentage of 0.909. And in net for the London Knights, it's Sebastian Gatto. He has a goals against average of 2.30 and a save percentage of 0.918. I'll send you down to ice level now for the opening ceremonies.
On defense, number 77, Caleb Mitchell. At forward, number 11, Braden Clark. At forward, number 14, Evan Van Gorp. At forward, number 44, Jesse Nurmi. And starting in goal for your London Knights, number 80, Sebastian Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening once again and welcome inside Canada Life Place for tonight's Ontario Hockey League game featuring the visiting Windsor Spitfires and your London Knights. Tonight's game is proudly presented to you by Select Path Benefits and Financial, part of the Navicord Network, and proud to support our community and your London Knights for over 26 years. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, at this time, we would ask that you join us in welcoming to ice level Equipment Manager Chris Matten, Associate General Manager Rob Simpson, and Vice President and General Manager Mark Hunter. Joining them are family and billet families of tonight's graduating players. At this time, we draw your attention to the video board for a special presentation.
dude, I'm here. Here it's all. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please join us in recognizing our graduating class of 2026. First, Knights forward, number 72, Caden Hawkins. Up next, forward, number 11, Braden Clark. And finally, an OHL and Memorial Cup champion, forward number 44, Jesse Nurmi. On behalf of the entire Knights organization, thank you, Caden, Braden, and Jesse, for your commitment to the London Knights. Tonight, you are each receiving a framed game jersey to recognize your time in London. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, our 2026 graduating players, Caden Hawkins, Braden Clark, and Jesse Nurmi. Excalibur Insurance is the proud sponsor of the London Knights Anthem program. At this time, as you are able, we would ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the singing of the Canadian National Anthem, to be performed by the Dreams Come True Music Studio, an inclusive music studio for people of all ages and all abilities. The musicians are conducted by their director and founder, Allison O'Connor.
And welcome to downtown London for the game between the London Knights and the Windsor Spitfires. This is the final meeting of this regular season, the sixth and final meeting, Rick. And I'll tell you something, both these hockey clubs have still not have their final seeding as of yet.
Well, last weekend of the regular season, and neither team has secured their seeding. The Spits are a win away from nailing down the second seed in the Western Conference, with the possibility of home ice advantage for 2 rounds. Now the Knights have to go into the weekend thinking they need 2 wins to secure the 4th seed and home ice advantage for their first round matchup with the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. Now both teams thinking win. No better way to set up a London-Windsor hockey game, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, of course, the Spitfires have owned the Knights this year. They've won 4 games to 1, and London's win was in overtime. And Last Sunday afternoon, the Spitfires put it to the Knights, but the Knights came back on Wednesday night to beat the Guelph Storm by the tune of 6-2. Windsor, of course, 3 in a row. They've scored 19 goals in their past 3 games, so they're coming in hot into the final weekend of the regular season. They beat Sarnia, of course, London, as I mentioned, and Erie on St. Paddy's Day by the score of 5-1. Should be a dandy night. Nothing can be better than a Windsor-London tilt on any given night here in the Ontario Hockey League. The overager, Clark, will start off against Garden. The Windsor Spitfires missing Belchaz, Villeneuve, and Spellacy out of their lineup, and it's shot in right off the hop, and Joey Costanzo around the boards, and we are underway here in downtown London at Canada Life Place. Glad again you can join us for Holly Gully Yamaha. Look at Garden. He goes in, and Gatto will make the first stop of this hockey game, and it's a dandy. Clark will race down the left side, shuttles it around the boards, and it comes over here to Bruce Devich, tabbed on for Fimis. He just keeps it in as the puck was rolling, and Fibiger will pin his man up against the boards. Here's Braden Clark back to the blue line. He had a goal in Windsor last Sunday afternoon. Stretched around on the and then in front of the net where the Knights were lingering, where it's shot in deep again, and out through to center ice is Cristoforo of the Windsor Spitfires. He shoots it in off the blocker of the goaltender, Sebastian Gatto.
Well, Ethan Garden has the first chance of the hockey game as he splits the Knights defense right here, but Sebastian Gatto with that big glove save as he reaches down as Garden tries to go backhand upstairs on that play. 58 seconds gone here in this first period.
Philadelphia's first rounder, Nesbitt, will line up against Will Nickel. Nesbitt has had a hot stick of late for the Spitfires. He wins the draw back to the blue line. Here's another shot floated toward the net, sent off to Nesbitt. He'll rope it out in that high slot area, but it's picked off by Robinson, who had 3 goals down in Windsor last Sunday afternoon. He had the hat trick. Played up along the wing. Robinson stops it with his skates. Bidgood tracks it, batted free by Funk, and it's sent along the blue line, and Robinson will tag his D partner. Here's Funk. Over onto the wing, tipped in deep by the Knights, and Costanzo will hang tight as Cover was hovering around him.
Well, the Dermot keys for tonight's hockey game for Windsor, it's the power play. The Spits have scored 5 times on 16 opportunities in the 5 games against the Knights. And for London, it's shots. In 4 losses to Windsor this year, London has averaged less than 19 shots on goal per game.
So the Knights will have the face-off deep in Windsor's territory. Peeled back to the blue line. Davis, a welcome addition back in Windsor's lineup, will shoot it in right on, and Gatto this time will hang on.
Well, Maxim Sokolowski was the last regular skater in this year's lineup to record a goal. He did that at the WFCU last Sunday. Now, the Kazakhstan native is the 132nd North American skater on the midterm list. I'm predicting he's not going to last that long.
Yeah, he's played well, especially this back half of the regular season. Walton sent toward the net. That was tipped in front by Ferron. Boy, Gatto had to be good again.
Well, Cole Davis steps back into the lineup for the Windsor Spitfires after being out with an injury. That's a nice addition just prior to the playoffs. He'll get 2 games in before the playoffs start for the Spitfires next week.
They'll start probably on Thursday night down in Windsor. Davis, and the Spitfires win the draw. They've won 3 in a row, and that shot peppered off a shin pad and dusted off to the corner, but the Knights will clear the zone. All the way back down, and icing is called as Brown was in on the hunt.
Well, Ryan Brown was not rated on the midterm list for the NHL draft in June. Since the trade deadline, Brown has played 26 games and scored 15 goals and 37 points, making a case to get back on that list. And you can count on the fact a lot of scouts of individual teams are taking note.
Yeah, Brown's had a great season for the Knights. It's coming over from the Sarnia Sting. Played back to the blue line. Piviger off the boards. Waslin just nudged it out through the center ice, and Joey Costanzo will rip it back in. Gatto out of his net. Around the board, picked off by Gaines. Swatted free. The Knights want to get going here off the glass, and a bouncing puck. Sailed to the blue line. Brown off his shin pad will get it in deep. To the corner. Windsor trying to clear the zone. Kept in by the overager Hawkins along with Brown with yeoman's work, and it's shot back in and sat off to the side by Joey Costanzo. The overager played up the boards again. Nesbitt will just touch it in deep to negate the icing, and the Knights D will clear it around the boards. Can't clear though. Greentree back over on the far side to the former North Bay Battalion, Kennedy, and that shot went through, and Gatto again with the pad save, and it sailed off to the corner. Bouncing puck in front of the net. Woodall up on the wing tonight. Another shot just wired wide of the mark, and Windsor will keep it in down the boards. Bruce Devich leaning in the garden. Takes him out, but Windsor still will control Woodall. He's low to handle. Marches his way down the boards and behind the net. Played off to the corner again and up the boards. Tight rope the blue line. Kennedy takes a peek off the shin pad. Zakharov and Windsor again will swat it in deep. And the Spitfires employing all kinds of pressure here in the early going. Almost 4 off the clock. Here in the first period, and it sailed down the length of the ice once again. Clark after his man Walton sent around the boards, and Robinson has it for Windsor. The Spitfires take refuge deep in their own territory, and they'll set up shop. Woodall to the bench. London gets set up in their 1-2-2 and sent down the wing, and Nesbitt will work his way through the center ice. Bidgood would steal from him and just nudged in over the blue line. Back deep in the corner. Head man pass to Harvey. Harvey chops it in deep. Phyllis takes a peek. Lead pass. Will Nickel on for Funk, and the Knights will start out deep in their own territory. Here's Funk. Sails it in off the glass. Bouncing puck around the boards. Brown. Bidgood takes him out. Funk up on the play. Beats his man to the corner. Centering pass out front. They jab away at it, and it just rolls wide of the mark by a whisker. Played over on the far wing again. Covert takes a swat at it. Windsor trying to clear the zone. Mitchell coming up with it. Now it's the Knights' turn to take pressure in Windsor territory, and Joey Costanzo has had enough.
Just to give you a look at a post that Sophie Bernier made this week. Sophie's standing on a couple of Coke boxes there. That gives you an indication of the size of Sokolowski at 6'8", 238 pounds. She had to look way up to get a look at him. 5 million people have viewed that as Sophie posted it.
That's awesome.
This week.
So Windsor has 5 shots. London with a couple in that last exchange. They're up to 3. Wheeled back, and it splits the D rather, and back down into London's territory. Mitchell. Sue starts out deep in his own territory. Huron breaks his stick. He has to go to the bench. Rinsed around the boards. Mitchell up with it. High slot area. Poke free, and Davis is up with it. He has speed down that right side. Mitchell up against him. He's hard to the net. One-hands it for himself. Up the board, slides it back to the blue line. Cristoforo, that shot. He was hoping to tip in front of that net. Windsor very good on tips. I've noticed that all season. They go in that high slot. There's another shot wide of the mark. Cristoforo, here's the rookie McLaughlin. Shoot, pad, save, and a beauty by the goaltender Gatto. And again, that was through traffic and then sent in across the line. Cristoforo starting out deep in his own territory will lead the 4-man assault, but that's broken up by Brady Waslin. Leaves it there for Hawkins. Waslin down the boards. Van Bommel out, and Piviger will play it around. Windsor starting out deep again. 6 off the clock. First period. Scoreless draw. Here's Nichols shooting it, and that goes off a stick. Out of play. Scoreless draw. Partway through the first period. Here at Canada Life Place.
Culligan Water has been London Region's trusted source for drinking water systems, water softeners, and problem water solutions for over 85 years. Cleaner, better water for you and your household is easy and more convenient than ever. Culligan, water you love. At the Hearing Place, we transform lives with personalized hearing care. Our exceptional audiology services and tailored treatment plans empower your journey to better hearing, ensuring compassionate support and solutions designed uniquely for you.
Protect your windshield from spreading damage with our fast, reliable stone chip repair. We fix chips early to maintain visibility, safety, and structural integrity, saving you from expensive replacements and keeping your vehicle road ready and secure.
This first period is brought to you by Oil Guard.
Well, Jesse Nurmi, a 4th-round pick of the New York Islanders in 2023, has 31 points this year, matching his total from last year in half the number of games. In fact, it's less than half. He's played 2 less than he did the entire season last year.
Yeah, he's been a great addition for the Knights. On the scoreboard, and of course, as a leadership role, Jesse Nurmi, Memorial Cup winner, played back out through to center ice and launched in. Woodall trying to tap it for himself. Greentree, always a threat. He'll linger in that high slot area. That goes off a skate and into the 9,000 plus.
Well, Liam Greentree has played 26 games since the trade deadline and scored at least a point in 20 of those games, giving the New York Ranger prospect 36 goals and 69 points. Good for 21st in the OHL scoring race as we head into this last weekend. The Spitfires hold a wide margin on the shot clock. 7-4, they're out shooting the Knights at this point.
Now almost 7 off the clock here in the first period. McLaughlin had a good rookie season for the Spitfires. Headman pass off a skate and sent in deep, and Femmes will get it there first, and Funk will wrap it around the board, but Robinson read it all the way against Brown. Brown kicking it free. Sent over to the near boards. Funk loses it. Robinson keeps it in, but Clark steals from his man. He'll just nudge it in across the line. Trying to find Brown and Kennedy. We'll have to send it back here on the near wing. Lead pass up the boards. Borowski will just tip it in deep. Femmes tied up with his man, and Funk will take charge deep in his own territory. Linus Funk, a Colorado draft pick, played on the right side, and Femmes will play it up the boards. Brown will tip it in. Costanzo around here on the near side. Brown will tap it. Brown with 22 goals on the season for these London Knights. Playing along the near side. Headman Packroy Bustevich read it all the way. He has 18. He's looking for 20 this weekend. Played around the boards, and that shot off the mark and sailed off to the corner and picked up by Bidgood. Bidgood trying to haul it out of London's territory. Nesbitt in and out on his men, set free, and it's sent back to Walton. He'll just chip it ahead. Nesbitt will just sail it back in, and London up with it. Played over for Will Neckel. He gets checked up. Zoo. Lead pass. Bidgood. Nickel swats at it, missed, and Windsor will take over deep in their own territory. Almost 9 off the clock. Here's Davis racing down the near side, sends it in front of the net, and Gatto read it all the way and snared it.
Well, Cohen Bidgood, the Peterborough, Ontario native, has had a good back half of the season for the London Knights. He's played 49 games this year. He's got 14 goals and 23 assists, good for 37 points. He's also had a little nasty streak in him, 47 penalty minutes with 2 games left in the regular season.
So everybody up and in tight, Windsor. To the right of Sebastian Gatto. London will control, and they'll send it back down to Windsor's blue line. Fibiger onto the wing. Cross ice feed for Davis. He'll pick his way to the London blue line. Shot in for Garden. Wrapped around the boards, and Cristoforo picks it up. Fibiger hits his skate, and that allows Waslin to play it off the boards for himself. Fibiger takes him out high slot area. Here's Hawkins peppering one right on, and Joey Costanzo with a good save.
Well, the Windsor Spitfires have held the advantage in the London zone, but the Knights have directed 5 shots at Joey Costanzo already in tonight's game, as Alex Farron is appearing in his 322nd OHL game tonight. That puts the overage Sudbury native in a tie with former Knight Brady Austin for 30th on the OHL all-time games played list.
Wow. Amazing. Knights now have the face-off deep. Crowds buzzing here tonight in downtown London. Why wouldn't it be? Windsor's in town. Everybody up and in tight London. Clark, being recognized as one of the overagers tonight, will lean in on the draw. Wins it. Bruce Devich, 18 on the year, sends it to the half boards, picked up by Greentree, and he'll just sky it in deep. Greentree gets there first, and Woodall up on the play. Woodall normally plays the D. Fibiger up on it, but 3 prominent forwards for the Rangers are out in tonight's hockey game. If Windsor touches it, that will be a high stick, which they do.
Well, Henry Rustevich has recorded at least a point in 22 of the 26 games he's played since the trade deadline. 18 goals and 53 points gives the Washington, Michigan native 101 career points. Rustevich was a first-round pick of the LA Kings this past June.
So London will have a face-off deep again. I might have said the Rangers a few minutes ago with 3 players out. It's the Spitfires, of course. 3 prominent Spitfires out, and Belchez is one of them. Spelzy, Villeneuve. There's a shot from the point, courtesy of Sokolowski, and gloved down by Joey Costanzo.
Well, Jack Nesbitt, the Sarnia, Ontario native and first-round pick of the Philadelphia Flyers during last June's NHL entry draft, has recorded 3 goals and 9 points in his past 5 games. He's starting to come alive.
On the draw, kick free by Nesbitt, plays it in behind his own net, and Windsor will have a chance to clear the zone. McKeish sends it in for himself, beats his man Funk, sent to the corner off the skate. This is the 4th line for Windsor. Robinson tails it back in behind the net, and looks like one of the Spitfires in front of the net is holding his mouth. Rick, I'm not sure if that was a high stick or something.
Well, it's McKeish, and he's looking back at Sebastian Gatto on the play, and that was behind the play, so I never really saw what transpired. If you have a look, apparently on the left side of your screen, you can see McKeish when he comes out in front of the net. That doesn't look like much of a shove to me whatsoever, but McKeish went down pretty hard. Wow. Came up holding his mouth. We have 9:50 remaining here in period number 1.
So nothing brewing there. He's obviously in discomfort. Played over to the open wing, so we're not back to 5-on-5. We continue 5-on-5, and Garden will clear the zone. Over on the near side, Robinson. Brown nails cross-ice feet, and now Garden will work his way in across the line. A shot off a stick and behind the net. Windsor continues to buzz around the near side. Picked off by Culver. He'll lead it back out through to center ice. Broken up by Kennedy. He's a veteran on the back end for Windsor. Lobs it in, and Funk has the puck for the London Knights. Sokolowski will tag a nickel. Weaves his way to the blue line. Idles it now. He tried to get the shot away. Didn't get nothing on it. He fanned on it. Now the shot knocked down in that high slot area. checked up by Harvey, and he'll get it in deep. 11 off the clock. First period, scoreless draw. Played around the boards, tipped in front of the net. McLaughlin was lurking in front of Gatto, played up the right side, and the Knights will clear the zone. Here's Brown, deep in his own territory. Bidgood out there. Nurmi, another over-eager, recognized here tonight. Hawkins was the other one, along with Clark. Here's Greentree, pass one man. Bidgood loses his stick. Now hot pass back to the blue line. Walton takes a peek. There's a shot off the boards again in hopes of a tip, and didn't materialize. Bemis in behind his zone net. Now sails it off to the corner, and Zoo will push it ahead on the right side, and Bidgood will just clear it in deep. Dabbed in deep to the corner. Brown around the boards, and Windsor will have a chance to clear him. Cross-ice feed for Woodall. Woodall checked up by Bruce Stevich and shot back in, courtesy of the Knights D. Shots close. Here's Van Gorp. Oh, he gets poke checked. A great defensive play by Walton as Van Gorp was going hard to the net. Picked that pass off, and Walton to the rescue for the Smiths. Sailed off to the corner again, and now Windsor out through to center ice, and Nesbitt has it. Chucks it in off the stick of Bruce Stevich, and behind the net, quick shot knocked down. Waslin has a chance to clear, and he'll one-hand it on the left side, and now Van Gorp gets nailed. There's Ferron trying the centering pass. That was McKeish back out, and who hit Van Gorp, and he crunched his man up against the boards. De Bruyne out for the Windsor Spitfire, wearing number 13. I believe he's from Exeter, Ontario. Now high slot pass, and Funk will shoot it. Hits a man was McKeish. Van Gorp again, whipping one, and he cranked that one, and Joey Costanzo, this time through traffic with the right pad save. Here's Ryan Brown hustling in. Carbs to the net. Brown in and out. Trying to backhand, forehand, backhand to go upstairs, and Costanza didn't bite on it. In behind the net, one-handed out again, and Harvey will be pinned up against the board. Lit back to the line. Push to center ice now. 2-on-2. In across the line. Return feed. Front of the net. Harvey was going hard and played around the boards, and Davis will pick it off. Trying to get it back to the blue line. Brown pins his man up. Windsor hard to the net again. Harvey gets knocked down. Funk crunches his man up against the boards, and now a centering pass right onto the blade of Cover. He'll find some room. Dashing in across the line. Here's Jackson Cover. Ryan Brown. Cover waits. Tap. Davis with the shot. And what a save by Joey Costanza. Another shot. Here's Ryan Brown waiting. Shooting. And that was stopped again by the goaltender, Joey Costanza. Great action here. Winding down the first period.
The London Knights invite you to join the Knights Fan Precision Challenge, powered by Anthem FX and brought to you by Match Eatery and Public House. Scan to make your predictions, compete with other fans, and enjoy the game like never before. What's your fan precision score?
Well, the London Knights brand goes all the way to Santiago, Chile. There's one of the London Knights' best fans in Santiago, Chile. He's named Rodri. Got the Memorial Cup hat on his 19th birthday today. Happy birthday, Rodri. And, of course, the fans here at the Canada Life Place wish you a happy birthday as well. Quite remarkable to see fans all the way back down into South America in the city of Santiago, Chile. Incredible. Off the draw, and it's sent toward the net, courtesy of Bruce Devich, and Greentree will wheel down the wing and behind the net, looking for Woodall. He's a horse, fades off the checking a one-man net high slot area, and he takes a shot and into the glove of the goaltender, Sebastian Gatto.
Well, the London Knights had a golden opportunity here late in that exchange before the whistle went, and Joey Costanzo comes up with 3 big saves. The last one, a big glove save to keep the score at 0-0. We have 5:19 remaining here in period number 1. The Knights now out shooting the Spitfires 11-9.
So everybody up and in tight. Played off to the wing, shot off the boards, and swept to center ice. Fibiger tracks it. Chiseled back into London's territory, and it looks like that's an icing call.
Well, Jesse Nurmi, a nice addition for the London Knights. He came back just in time to play the New Year's Eve game against the Sarnia Sting. And what I've noticed about his game year over year, physically, he's much stronger than he was last year. He holds people off much better than he did, putting up big points this year for the Knights.
London with 11 shots of Joey Costanzo, and Gatto has handled 9 shots. So London's taking over the shot clock. There's a shot off a stick and bounces to the corner. Nesbitt hard around the boards. Greentree lurks all the time. He's a threat. Every time he's out on the ice, he goes to the bench this time, and Bruce Devich will nudge it out for himself through the center ice. Trying to feed it in for Bidgood, and it hits a skate, and now Bruce Devich nails his man. That was Fibiger. Lead pass picked off by the veteran Hawkins. In across the line, another shot goes off the shin pad of Fibiger into the corner. Jesse Nurmi tracks it. Van Bommel in there as well. Steals. Yeoman's work by Nurmi again. Played around the boards. Simmons up with it. Sailed to the corner. Bounced back to the blue line. Windsor will pick it up and cleared by Woodall. And it's lodged it down the length of the ice. And icing's waved off. There's Femmes. Lead pass out through to center ice and knocked in off the boards, and Clark after it. Brown to the corner. Van Bommel. Femmes can't hold it, and Davis will clear the zone, and Sokolowski will track it deep along with Femmes. In behind his own net, waltzes his way right in front of the cage, and he'll find the speedy Van Gorp. In across the line, Van Bommel, broken stick out there, lodged up against the boards, and Brown will track it for Windsor. And he'll start out deep, pushes it ahead, and now the Spits are out through to center ice. And across the line is Garden McKees, hits his shin pad and turning up ice, emerged the 11 Knights with Van Bommel and Van Gorp. Played off to the corner. Barging his way through is Van Gorp. Brown tracks it deep in his own territory, still have that broken stick out there, and Windsor will start out for abreast. Through to center ice is Harvey. Harvey weaving his way in. Gets checked up, and the Knights are up with it. Here's Nickel along with Jackson Cover. Peel back to the blue line. Funk rinsed in deep. Zoo up from his point position. Ryan Brown back to Cover. Pretty good line out here for Dale Hunter. Centering pass in front of the net in that high post, and the Knights' Nickel couldn't drop the payload. There's another shot, just bounced off the glove of Joey Costanzo. Played in behind the net again. Centering pass to no avail. Brown has it once again off the wall. Now he'll shuttle it down the coast in behind the cage. Once again, up with it is Windsor, but the Knights are pressing hard here on the near side, and Windsor will have a chance to clear, and it's picked up by Garden. He'll just rinse it in. So pretty good pressure there by the Knights in the last minute or so. We're approaching the 2-minute mark remaining here in the first period. Scoreless draw. Cinched up the boards. Greentree back out onto the ice for Windsor. Cristoforo has the puck. Headmans it to Nesbitt. He'll lodge it in across the line, and we'll have a stoppage in play.
Well, the London Knights putting all kinds of pressure on the defense for the Windsor Spitfires. Look at Joey Costanzo. He's definitely dialed in for tonight's hockey game as he hugs that post to thwart that opportunity by the Knights. That was the 13th shot on goal for the London Knights. They've taken over since the 10-minute mark of this period as the Windsor Spitfires jumped on them early, but the Knights are pushing back.
Of course, the Knights are fighting for that home ice advantage in the playoffs in the 4th seed. Saginaw is in Sault Ste. Marie tonight. Lead pass out through to center ice, and Greentree will crunch up Bruce Stevich right at the blue line. Round the shelf, kick free, and now 4 Knights will emerge through to center ice. Here's Hawkins, centering pass, front of the net, bit, good. Couldn't grab onto it. Rolls off to the corner. Bruce Stevich has the puck, slides it down the boards, hits the skate, kept in by Mitchell. And it's retrieved on the near side out through to the red line, courtesy of Greentree. Here's Nesbitt with a quick shot. He wired that one. That's offside at the line and bid good. And one of the Spitfires looks like Cristoforo up against the boards.
Well, Anthony Cristoforo is one of 2 defensemen in the league with 20-plus goals on the season. Now, Barry's Kashan Aitchison is the other. He is just 4 points away now, Cristoforo, of putting up point number 200 for his OHL career. 109 remains here in period number 1. Shots on goal read 13-9 in favor of the Knights.
So they're going to drop the puck just outside the London blue line. Funk stands on the pass, and the Knights will get there. Van Gorp trying to clear it in. That's the line. Davis, inside a minute remaining. Icy, London.
Well, the Spitfires employing a little bit of physicality here late in this period, trying to slow the London Knights down. They pressed back pretty good since the 10-minute mark of period number 1. The Spitfires, obviously a bigger hockey club than the Knights. They want to use that weight advantage. We have 53.2 seconds remaining in this first frame.
So the rookie McLaughlin will square up with Clark, the veteran. Clark wins it. Lead pass, lob back out through to center ice. Will not have enough for icing Brown. Tails it around for Walton. Walton will lead it out through to his own blue line. Center ice, and gets it in deep. Famous tabs it around the boards, and Funk will try to clear. Greentree read it all the way, then he steals it from Clark. Now he one-hands it for himself, turns on the dime off the coast again. Quick shot. Again, Greentree making things happen out of nothing with a scoring opportunity. Back to the blue line again. Bounce to the corner. Greentree waits, slithers it in front of the net as the rookie McLaughlin was hankering off his skate. And the Knights will clear the zone, and it's shot down the ice, and that will do it for the period. A scoreless draw here in downtown London after 1. Stay tuned for Sophie in the first intermission. Live Ontario and Canada-wide, it's Holly Gully Yamaha Knights Hockey right here on Rogers TV.
At Sumner Jewelers, we have been serving London and area since 1902. We specialize in custom jewelry designs and invite you to bring us your ideas. Trusted for over 120 years at 392 Richmond Street, between King and Dundas. For more than 26 years, Duramed Mobility has proudly served as your trusted partner in home healthcare equipment and mobility solutions. Whether you're looking to purchase, rent, or repair, our dedicated team is here to support your journey to greater independence and comfort.
Need an SUV? Finch Hyundai's got it. Need a car? Finch Hyundai's got it. Low rate financing, unbeatable deals, superb customer service. Got it, got it, got it. Visit the largest volume Hyundai dealership in Ontario. Check us out at finchhyundai.com.
Businesses across Ontario trust Oil Guard for proven rust protection.
Hi, I'm Rob from Wild Things. Every year I bring my trucks to Oil Guard because I think that rust is just another pest.
Oil Guard can help duck the rust. At IDS, we have the tools your business needs to be successful, from production printing, digital signage and content management, and full IT services. IDS allows our clients to focus on what they do best.
When I do becomes I'm done.
Talk to the family law experts at Drake Law. Divorce doesn't have to be a fight, but when there's a lot at stake, call Drake. DrakeLaw.ca.
The London Knights invite you to join the Knights Fan Precision Challenge, powered by Anthem FX and brought to you by Match Eatery and Public House. Scan to make your predictions, compete with other fans, and enjoy the game like never before. What's your fan precision score?
Check it out. Now, more Ontarians qualify for the Ontario Electricity Support Program. You could get a monthly on-bill credit of $35 or more. Applying at...
Do you love watching Knights Nationals hockey on Rogers TV? Be a part of the action or come work behind the scenes. We are recruiting dedicated volunteers to join our production crew. Apply online at rogerstv.com/volunteer. Welcome back. I'm here with Windsor Spitfires forward, Jack Nesbitt. Now, Jack, this is a crucial game for both teams. We're 0-0 after 20 minutes. What are your thoughts on that first period?
I mean, I think we definitely didn't play our best. A lot of turnovers in the neutral zone, and we're just not getting pucks deep, and that's transitioning into them having odd man rushes, so we just can't have that, and we just got to get back to our game, play simple, and get pucks deep here. You're heading into your second offseason with the Philadelphia Flyers. You look back on this season, where do you think your game's grown the most? I think I've worked a lot on faceoffs. That's a big part of my game. They rely on me a lot for that. But just an all-around defensive, offensive guy, making sure I'm in the right position in the D zone, making sure I'm doing the right things in the O zone, not making turnovers, stuff like that. And I feel like I've done a good job this season of working on that and making that better. You're coming off a 2-goal game against Erie, 5-game point streak. You're heating up at the perfect time of the year. What's been working for you? I mean, I just think I'm sticking to my game, doing what I can do best, and I think that's just working for me. And with my teammates around me, we've had a lot of different line combinations, stuff like that, so that's been tough. But, I mean, anyone can play with anyone on this team, and that's the good part here, which will have a good, hopefully have a good playoff run, and we'll have a couple guys back from injuries too, so that'll help. You mentioned it, anyone can play with anyone. This Windsor team is so good, so much skill on this team. How'd you define the identity of this group? Yeah, like I said, all four lines can score goals, so that's a big part. And our whole D-core, they can play defensive, but they can also play in the O-zone, so that helps a lot. And then both our goalies have been playing unreal this second half, and that helps us a lot. And when the whole team is rolling like that, it helps a lot, so it's good. The Western Conference is so tight. What would it mean to your group to get that division title? I mean, it'd mean a lot. First place in the division, and that'll mean home ice advantage for the first two rounds, and that'll be huge versus Flint if we get to them. But yeah, other than that, it feels good. Last weekend of the season went by so fast. When you look back, what memories come to mind? Oh, there's a ton. My favorite is definitely just the road trips and the long ones. Up to Ottawa, the 5-day road trip, that's a busy one, but it's real fun getting with the teammates, playing a bunch of games and stuff like that. Having a day off in Ottawa, that's always fun, so it's awesome. And I have to address the haircut. Yeah. Didn't recognize you pregame. Yep. Whose decision was the buzz cut? Well, we didn't really decide, and Green Tree just went for it one day, so we all just followed him, and now we all got buzz cuts. So. Does it feel a bit weird? Yeah, 100%. I had to adjust the helmet a little bit, and I could feel the wind going through the helmet, so it's a little weird, but I'll get used to it. Well, thank you so much for your time. Good luck the rest of this game. Thank you. We'll be right back with some more Knights hockey here on Rogers TV after this.
You can trust Progressive Countertop to bring design to the surface in your home with beautiful Canadian-made quartz surfaces like Handstone, manufactured locally in London. Progressive Countertop is a smart choice for Canadian-made quality and expert installation.
None of us are immune to financial difficulty. We've been helping Canadians become debt-free for over 50 years. Together, we'll find the right debt solution and get you back on your feet.
Call us on the phone or see us on the net. 310-NET.
At GWB Heating and Cooling, customer comfort is their commitment. Their licensed technicians cover all home heating and cooling needs. From inspections to repairs and installation, customers trust the professionals at GWB, where quality service meets peace of mind.
Optimizing people and resources, Vanbree Enterprises combines innovation with experience to help shape communities. Providing the very best service to every partnership and every project is the driving force. The goal? To always be very Vanbree.
Hey London, did you know it's the law to have working smoke alarms?
Yes, it's the law. Working smoke alarms save lives. So get in on the action and test yours today.
And keep in touch with us by following us on social media.
Choose Great Floors Ingersoll and Beckham Brothers for your next flooring project. Both trusted Canadian brands. Beckham Brothers creates stunning engineered hardwood, tile, and luxury vinyl. Great Floors Ingersoll provides expert service and installation. Great Floors and Beckham Brothers, a winning team.
I'm Heather from Optimus TV Bingo. For a chance to win extra spending money, tune in to Optimus TV Bingo Monday nights at 8 p.m. For details on tickets, go to tvbingo.ca.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations with London's major teams, including the London Knights, of course, and the athletes competing near and far that are making our city proud. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. I'd like to welcome back in Rick and Greg. Gentlemen, let's talk about that first period.
Yeah, very tightly contested first period. Rick, let's take a look at the period summary brought to you by Vanbree Enterprises.
Well, neither team enjoyed a power play in that period. In fact, the last time that these two teams played here at Canada Life Place, there was one penalty called in the entire hockey game. The Knights win 65% of the faceoffs in period number one. They outshoot the Spitfires 13-10, and we have a 0-0 score heading into period number two.
Well, we're heading into the final weekend of the year. Let's, of the regular season at least, let's take a look at the standings in the Western Conference, Rick.
Well, there's only two things that have been settled in the Western Conference so far. And the first thing is the Kitchener Rangers will be the #1 seed in the Western Conference. The second thing that's been established is we have one playoff matchup. The London Knights and the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds will meet in round number one. Now, we're not sure who has home ice advantage. Both teams with 2 games left. And, of course, both teams have to win both of those games as far as they're concerned heading into the weekend.
And you take a look, Rick, there, that 6th, 7th, and 8th position is still up for grabs in itself. The Eastern Conference, though, Rick, is another matter. The Peterborough Petes won last night in overtime against the Barrie Colts, and actually the Eastern Conference is totally set for the 2026 playoffs.
Well, we're heading into the final weekend here in the West, and certainly when you have a look over at the East, we are all set. They got things squared away pretty quickly because Brampton and the Generals at the bottom of the standings, they were out pretty much a month ago, so it was just playing for seeding. So now we've got the seedings all set in that Eastern Conference. Of course, the Brantford Bulldogs will go in as the big favorite to come out of the Eastern Conference, but the Barrie Colts playing very hot to finish the regular season.
Well, tonight's a big night in the Ontario Hockey League. 8 games on tap. Let's take a look at that ever-popular out-of-town scoreboard.
Well, when you have a look at the out-of-town scoreboard in tonight's games, Owen Sound and Guelph, that's a big matchup because the Guelph Storm have dipped down into the 7th seed behind the Owen Sound Attack, so that has implications for playoff seeding in tonight's hockey game. Of course, Saginaw and Sault Ste. Marie up at the GFL Center in Sault Ste. Marie. The Greyhounds out in front 2-0 on Saginaw in that hockey game at the first intermission. That has implications here for the London Knights in tonight's hockey game, as the Knights vying for that 4th seed and home ice advantage in round number 1 up against the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, who have a lead up in Sault Ste. Marie over Saginaw, who beat them on Wednesday night, a 4-3 score. Saginaw holds the advantage in the head-to-head against Sault Ste. Marie this year, 4-3.
Real quick, the Western Conference. Let's go back to the Western Conference standing. Of course, the Windsor Spitfires want to win that West Division for sure. They have home ice advantage throughout the playoffs until possibly the final in the Western Conference. They want that. Flint wants that. London wants home ice advantage. And, of course, the Flint Firebirds only have one game left against the London Knights tomorrow night.
And this has implications for tomorrow night's hockey game, because if the Windsor Spitfires manage to get out of this hockey game with the win, that secures the second seed for the Spitfires. Therefore, the Flint Firebirds will remain as the third seed. But the London Knights have the luxury of possibly losing one game this weekend and still securing the 4th seed in the Western Conference if the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds lose a game this weekend.
Sophie, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll be right back with some more Knights hockey here on Rogers TV after this.
From the breakups.
Why can't I spend the weekend with you and Daddy?
To the coming togethers. To new beginnings. We are here to help you move forward.
Getting a clear view helps prevent sewage backups and floods before they happen. Expert CCTV inspections by choice identify cracks, roots, and blockages. Staying ahead of problems, protecting infrastructure. One choice, many solutions.
Coulter's has been the family pharmacy London has trusted for over 50 years. From personalized medication advice, vaccinations, and pharmacists qualified to assess health issues. At Coulter's Pharmacy, get the customized care that is right for you. At Sumner Jewelers, we have been serving London and area since 1902. Specializing in natural and lab-grown diamonds, we invite you to share your ideas with us, and we will help bring them to life. On-street parking available at 392 Richmond Street, between King and Dundas. Vector offers recovery and performance programs to improve your quality of life. Their active therapy approach helps with pain, mobility, and strength. Located in London, Ontario, they focus on personalized care to support your wellness journey.
After a night out with your friends, there's always options for getting home safely. You could call your BFF, your mom or dad, whoever you can count on for a safe ride home. You could call your favorite cab company or 1-888 taxi guy. Or you could use the Arrive Alive smartphone app to help you choose your ride. Be it a friend, transit, or taxi, getting home safely is app easy. Now available for iOS and Android devices. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive.
If you live in St. Thomas, Tillsonburg, Strathroy, or Woodstock, and you have news to share, we'd love to hear from you. Email us with your community updates and be a part of the conversation. Let's have a look now at the Save of the Period brought to you by MNP. If your debt is out of control, you're not alone. It is London Knights netminder Sebastian Gatto with a early save there on Garden. That came quickly in that first period. Now for the first period scoring summary brought to you by Finch Hyundai. It was a scoreless first period. The Knights outshot Spitfires 13-10. And the turning point of the period is brought to you by Drake Divorce Lawyers. When there's a lot at stake, call Drake, and it is Windsor Spitfire netminder Joey Costanzo. He made a big save here on Sokolowski. And he stuck with the play to freeze the play. The London Knights will be back in action, but we are still waiting to find out when that will be, so stay tuned. But as of right now, it's 0-0. Second period is coming up next.
For more than 26 years, Duramed Mobility has proudly served as your trusted partner in home healthcare equipment and mobility solutions. Whether you're looking to purchase, rent, or repair, our dedicated team is here to support your journey to greater independence and comfort.
Need an SUV? Finch Hyundai's got it. Need a car? Finch Hyundai's got it. Low rate financing, unbeatable deals, superb customer service. Got it, got it, got it. Visit the largest volume Hyundai dealership in Ontario. Check us out at finchhyundai.com.
Businesses across Ontario trust Oil Guard for proven rust protection.
Hi, I'm Rob from Wild Things. Every year I bring my trucks to Oil Guard because I think that rust is just another pest.
Oil Guard can help duck the rust. At IDS, we have the tools your business needs to be successful, from production printing, digital signage and content management, and full IT services. IDS allows our clients to focus on what they do best.
Bring the family to Pizza Hut's all-you-can-eat buffet. Fresh pizzas, pasta, and salads, something for everyone. Great taste, great time, all in one place. Pizza Hut, where family meals are unforgettable.
Get an inside look at your sewer lines with a hand cam inspection from Choice. Check the health of your pipes and find any problems before they become disasters. Because no one wants raw sewage back up in their home or business. One choice, many solutions.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks, and it shattered her world.
Check it out. Now, more Ontarians qualify for the Ontario Electricity Support Program. You could get a monthly on-bill credit of $35 or more. Apply at OEL.
Okay, back here at Canada Life Place, getting set for the second period. Rick, let's take a look at the shots on goal, brought to you by GWB Heating and Cooling.
Well, one of the Dermot keys tonight was the London Knights, and it was shots on goal. This is the highest amount of shots on goal the London Knights have had in a single period against the Windsor Spitfires in the 4 games that they've lost to them this season. 13-10, the Knights outshoot the Spitfires in period number 1.
Well, as we discussed throughout the first intermission here, both these teams in the final weekend of this regular season are in must-win zone.
Well, certainly the Windsor Spitfires, they don't want to go to the final game up in Sault Ste. Marie trying to nail down that second seed in the Western Conference. They'd like to do that tonight. And of course, the London Knights, in my opinion, have to win both games this weekend in order to secure the 4th seed in the Western Conference and add home ice advantage over the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds in that first round. So a must-win game for both these hockey clubs, and that's exactly what you want on the last weekend of the regular season, particularly a Windsor Spitfire London Knight matchup.
Absolutely. And the Spitfires, a veteran hockey club this year. They've been building for a couple years now. They certainly have the tools to go very deep in these 2026 Ontario Hockey League playoffs. London on a bit of a retooling year, of course, after winning 2 OHL championships in a row and a Memorial Cup in their back pocket last year. Underway here in the second period, scoreless draw. Green Tree back out for Windsor, and Nurmi tracks it, and he'll race down the right side. He has Clark with him. Here's Nurmi peppering one and goes right into the chest protector of Joey Costanzo.
Well, Joey Costanzo is one of only 7 goaltenders in the history of the league to record 100-plus wins in his career. 106 wins entering tonight's game. 101 of those wins recorded in a Spitfire uniform. An impressive OHL career for Costanzo.
Absolutely. Knights will have the face-off to the left of Costanzo. Nickel in on the draw. Nesbitt out there as well. Felt his team didn't play well in that mid-portion of the first period when he was interviewed with Sophie. Jumped in deep, and Gatto plays it over for Bruce Deb. He tried to tuck it ahead for Cover. Mitchell will track it and play it hard around the boards. Long cross-ice feed, missed everyone. Icing, London.
Well, Jacob Fibiger A Czech import was acquired at the deadline for 3 draft picks and London native Carter Hicks in a deal with Brampton. Now Fibiger is committed to Ohio State University next year.
Yeah, he's been a nice addition on the back end for Windsor. He's already loaded with a good defenseman. Played to the corner once again, Bruce Devich. McLaughlin on him, Nickel. The center iceman back in the defensive role up against Perron. He's a former Sudbury Wolf, and Nickel will knock him down. Villeneuve, his partner, out of the lineup tonight. And down from Sudbury as well. Oh, launch back to the London's blue line, and Cover picks it up. He'll wheel his way in across the line, and Robinson around the boards, and Kennedy will just, oh, an errant pass. Boy, McLaughlin didn't see that pass. It was behind him, and Knights almost picked it off. Around the base of the boards. Here's Cole Davis, working his way in across the line, trying to go wide. Now it's Henry pass for McLaughlin, and it was a little hot. It just hopped over his stick, and Hawkins will wheel in across the Windsor line. Chance Sokolowski, the big man, shooting. He scores.
Well, Maxim Sokolowski goals in back-to-back games now against the Windsor Spitfires as he fires that from the slot area. As Jackson Cover finds him in the slot area, he makes no mistake beating Costanzo on that play to give the London Knights a 1-0 lead. 2 goals this season for Sokolowski, both scored against the Windsor Spitfires, as there's a smile on his face. He won't forget this game too soon.
Yeah, he scored in Windsor last Sunday afternoon, and now has a beauty here tonight in London. And the Knights are up by 1. 2 is off the clock. Second period, sent down the coast, and Big Good after it along with Waslin. He's knocked down, and the Windsor Spitfires emerge out through the center ice. Walton chips it in deep, then races in on his own forecheck. Sent toward the net, courtesy of Walton again, and skied back out. And Brown will knock it down. Bidgood on it as well, and Hawkins and Bidgood will go directly to the London bench in favor of Clark and Van Gork. Brown tails it off for Walton, softly off the boards, just raced in across the line, and that's hit the clock, I think, here at Canada Life Place.
Well, Liam Greentree had a big playoff for the Windsor Spitfires last year. Of course, he had Patra to work with last year in that playoff run. They're expecting big things out of Greentree. The first-round pick of the LA Kings went over to the New York Rangers in a trade between the Kings and the Rangers this season.
Now sail back to the blue line. Windsor controlled the draw cleanly off those lively backboards here. Up the boards again. Nesbitt, always a threat, sent back down into traffic behind the net. Cristoforo up on it. Windsor down by 1. Centering pass for Keys. Sent in and capped. In by the Spitfires, snared nicely by the goaltender Gatto.
Well, Braden Clark coming in as he's one of the overagers in this year's lineup. He joined the Knights from the NCAA program at Providence. He has found the score sheet in a big way this past month. In the Knights' past 10 games, he scored 9 goals to give him 22 on the season. He leads the Knights in that goal-scoring category.
So the face-off deep in London's territory. Sent to the corner. Windsor will control. Funk trying to get on the right side of the puck, succeeds, and Clark's in there as well, but Harvey after it. London can't clear the zone. There's a quick shot, knocked down, swept off to the far side, but a good stick by the overager. Clark will clear the zone, and Jesse Nurmi's out there as well. Now a centering pass, and Clark dribbles one in. Oh, it bounced all pass, and golden opportunity, and look for the Knights to record their second goal of this hockey game. Off the coast again, played over here on the near side and tracked down by Cristoforo. He'll just nudge it in across the line, and Nurmi has the puck. Lead pass again. Here's Will Nickel in across the line, trying to bounce one in. Nurmi after it. Ryan Brown off the boards, trying to play it for himself, and Fibiger will track it. And he'll send away Davis. Quick shot, got over top of the net. Had a lot of heat on that shot. And Brown has it for London. Twisting, turning, trying to clear the zone. Bounces it out through to center ice, and Kennedy drags it up onto the blade. Shot in deep, courtesy of the Spitfires. Brown up the boards, back to the blue line, picked off by the Knights, and now Culver will wheel it down the wing. In across the line, leaves it for Nickel. Nickel tried the backhander, and it hits McLaughlin's stick on a good defensive play. And it goes into the meshing.
Well, the London Knights pressing for that second goal as Nurmi breaks this play up at the blue line, gets it back out into Clark. That goes off of the defender for the Windsor Spitfires. Joey Costanzo does a good job of pretzeling himself around in that blue paint to make the pad save on that play. We have 15:28 remaining here in period number 2. Shots on goal now 16-11 in favor of London.
Hawkins wins it. Tab back to the blue line. Brustevich shooting one through traffic, and that goes off the blocker of Joey Costanzo. Off to the boards again. Woodall knifes it back out through to center ice, and Robinson tracks it, beats his man. Now a centering pass in front of the net. Oh, and Greentree almost had the wide open net. He just couldn't get a handle on the pass. After the turnover by the Knights D, now sent up the boards again, and Mitchell, dragging up onto his blade, and now the Knights player is down. Play continues. Been good once, a penalty, and a toe drag and a shot in front of the net, and Gatto, lead pass now for Van Gorp. He'll wheel in across the line up against Brown. Sauced on for Brustevich, and it hits his stick, and Garden will wheel back the other way for Windsor. He'll lead the three-man assault. In across the line, Greentree, Garden, wait, shoot, peppered right on, and Gatto takes it off the blocker. Skittered off to the corner. Up the boards again. Here's a quick shot. Denied by Gatto, and in behind the net and sent over for Nesbitt. He'll play it back in for James. Windsor on the move. They're down by 1, 6 off the clock, second period. Here's McKeish with the shot. Knocked down Brustevich. Knocks it free. And they're seeing that kept in. Looked like white ice, but a quick shot in front of the net by the Spitfires. Brown back to the blue line again. Stutter step, high slot area, waits, shoots, and he peppers that one into a crowd. And it's bounced down the length of the ice. A 1-0 lead. Sokolowski. London's goal here in the second.
Culligan Water has been London Region's trusted source for drinking water systems, water softeners, and problem water solutions for over 85 years. Cleaner, better water for you and your household is easy and more convenient than ever. Culligan, water you love. At The Hearing Place, we transform lives with personalized hearing care. Our exceptional audiology services and tailored treatment plans empower your journey to better hearing, ensuring compassionate support and solutions designed uniquely for you.
After windshield replacement, we recalibrate your vehicle's ADAS to ensure precise alignment and full functionality. Restore safety features like lane assist and collision alerts for optimal performance, accuracy, and confidence every time you hit the road.
This second period is brought to you by Progressive Countertops.
Well, Andrew Robinson tries to find Greentree in that blue paint, but a good stick there by Mitchell breaks that play up as the Spitfires with a bit of a pushback here in the last 2 minutes of this second frame. We have 13:38 remaining in period number 2.
Off the draw, London will control 2-on-2 for the Knights with Van Gorp and Hawkins. Hawkins just sails it in and goes directly to the bench. Lead pass for Harvey off the tip of his stick, and Sokolowski will find Kumas. Broken stick again. Van Gorp runs into his man. That's McLaughlin. McLaughlin feathers it on for Harvey, and he'll gain control and sends it in deep. Boy, that had a bounce on it, and Gatto elects to hang on.
Well, Sebastian Gatto has posted 14 wins up against just 3 losses since the trade deadline. Now, the Troy, Michigan native has given up 2 or fewer goals against in 12 of those starts. He has the 3rd best goals against in the league at 2.30. He's been outstanding for the Knights and certainly took over the number-1 job here in the month of February.
Yeah, especially since about December. Gatto has been the #1 goaltender, sent down the ice again. London charged with icing.
Well, Jackson Cover became one of just 6 rookies this year who have scored 20-plus goals in the season, and Cover with 20 goals at Dart on Wednesday night as he beat Jovanovski in Guelph. He has a point in tonight's game. That gives him 49 points on the season, just 1 shy of the 50 plateau.
Yeah, London bounced back in that Guelph game rather nicely after getting tuned up by the same Spitfires in Windsor. There's a quick shot by Nesbitt right on and off the chest protector of Gatto. Sent to the boards. Launched down the ice, and again the Knights are going to be guilty of icing.
Well, Woodall playing up front for the Spitfires in tonight's hockey game. Of course, Spellacy, he's out injured for the Spitfires. Belchez, his season's over for the Spitfires. And Villeneuve went down with a lower body injury in Kitchener last week. So Woodall employed up front.
Well, that's too bad for Belchez. I believe he was out last year as well. Quick shot. Belchez having an all-star year, 34 markers in this campaign. Tough break for Windsor. Out through to center ice, and Fiverger tracks it off the boards. Knocked down by Ryan Brown, trying to wait for Cover to get out. And Cristoforo, Cover, Brown. This line's worked rather nicely for Dale Hunter. Here's Cover waiting. He shoots it and goes off a stick and out of play.
Well, Jack Nesbitt, Sophie's interview in period #1. Of course, he's a Sarnia, Ontario native. As Ned Nesbitt, a first-round pick of the Philadelphia Flyers, he signed his entry-level contract with the Flyers as the faceoff remains deep in the Windsor zone. So that did go off defender and up into the meshing. We have 12:08 remaining here in this second period.
So London will have the face-off deep in Windsor territory. Hawkins waved out of there. Big good in to track it. Windsor replies with Garden. He wins it cleanly, and it's roped around here to McKeish. Off the boards and out through to center ice. Sent in deep, courtesy of Harvey. Sokolowski scored his 2nd goal of the season tonight, earlier in the spring. He'll start out for London. Cross ice feed for Bidgood. Weaves his way through the center ice area. Gets it in deep. And then Bidgood crunches his man up against the board. Now Harvey. Boy, leans into Van Bommel. Might have had the elbow up a bit. And play continues. Played along the boards again. Well, sent back out through to the red line. And Sokolowski will tap it on for Hawkins. Hawkins, Sokolowski. London up by 1. Here's the veteran Hawkins. Picks his way to the line past McKeish. Trying to go wide. Now plays it on for Bidgood. Bidgood in for Hawkins once again. Robinson pins him up against the boards, and it's set out. Low post. Zoo takes a shot. Pass save. Joey Costanzo. Another shot. Here's Zoo in front of the net. He just couldn't corral it, and that will allow the Spitfires to come 2-on-2. High slot feed courtesy of the winger McKeish. Takes the shot off a stick and out of play.
Well, the London Knights press one way, and the Windsor Spitfires, they bounce right back and press the other way. As Robinson, he had the hat trick last Sunday in Windsor against the Knights as the Windsor Spitfires took a big 8-2 win at the WFCU that night. We're just 51 seconds off the midway point here in period number 2.
Clark on the draw, won by Windsor, but it hops over Walton's stick, and he'll try to clear it in, but it hits a body. Here's Jesse Nurmi. He's an Islander prospect. Quick shot into the glove of Joey Costanzo, and now him and Walton, who's a big customer on the back end for Windsor, get tied up.
Well, I mentioned that Jack Nesbitt had signed with the Philadelphia Flyers with his entry-level contract. He's a first-round pick that's unsigned by the Philadelphia Flyers at this point. I'm sure they're going to correct that at some point before the month of September.
I'll tell you something, he's got some natural skill. Nesbitt does. I'm sure you're right, Rick. Well, London with the face-off deep. Nesbitt wins it back to Brown, and he'll tap it up onto his own blade and feed the near side, but Van Gorp smartly keeping it in. Down the coast again into the corner. Walton after it. Jesse Nurmi center pass. Clark got the shot away. Costanzo with an enormous save from point-blank range and tracked down by the Spits, and a lead pass. And boy, who else but Greentree tucked in behind the London D. In and out on his man and played off to the corner. Nesbitt off the boards again. Sends it back down low. Woodall up front. Speared ahead. And Van Gorp will lug it out through to center ice, and he'll just chisel it in deep. Inside of 10. Remaining here in the second period, so we're halfway through this hockey game. Windsor London. And London has a 1-goal lead, courtesy of Sokolowski, his second marker of the year. Shot in deep. Timmis. Round the boards for Nickel. Nickel getting all tied up with the Spitfires forward. McLaughlin, the rookie, has a chance. Trying to butt it home. Another chance, and it's set free, and we got a whistle. McLaughlin and now Brown jousting in front of the net, and the heat between Windsor and London is there again.
Well, now we're getting a little bit of heat on this hockey game. The London Knights with a scoring chance here as Clark gets this puck in the slot area, takes the shot. That second one wouldn't have counted because he kicked that puck towards Joey Costanzo. And then we come all the way down to the London zone, and it's McLaughlin with 2 opportunities on Gatto. The shots on goal start to tighten up here. 2019 now in favor of the Knights, as the Knights have had 7 shots in this period. The Spitfires, they've had 9.
Everybody up and in tight. Windsor London will control the draw. Hard off the boards. Cover trying to clear. Perron will keep it in. Not free by Finnis. Vanderven clear out. And I believe it goes into the Windsor bench.
Well, Vanderven, he played for the Gamoka Kings this year. He's been up for now. This is his 7th game with the London Knights. Yet to record a point, but he's starting to acquaint himself rather nicely to this hockey club on the back end. And certainly in a tight hockey game, you got a defensive zone face-off, and Dale Hunter chooses to leave Vanderven on the ice.
Windsor again will have the face-off to the right of Gatto off the boards, knocked down at the line. Bidgood tries to clear. Windsor keeping it in though. Bidgood again. McLaughlin. There's a bit of sandpaper for a rookie. Pins his man up against the boards, and well, the Knights Vanderven again will clear it in. Then he takes a hit from Davis. Of course, Cole Davis, a veteran in this league, played off to the wing, and that was up on the rails, and I'll have to call that right at the Windsor bench.
Well, Caden Hawkins, certainly his first year in the Ontario Hockey League. He was a healthy scratch for a couple of weeks. He's playing in his 60th game tonight. He has 9 goals and 12 points. He scored 2 of those 9 goals in the last 3 games the London Knights have played.
I was at the game in Guelph on Wednesday night. He had a heck of a game for London. Hawkins did. Played in deep. Wrapped around the boards again, and Feverger lead pass. Dangerous one. Windsor manages to clear the zone, and it's set free by Bidgood. He'll bulldoze his way through. Now high slot. Slot Prepper and one, and he gunned it just wide of the mark. Here's Hawkins again. On for Zoo. He'll cue it in front of the net. Hits the skate and bounced onto the blade of Garden, and Zoo again will keep it in. Cristoforo tracks it. Waslin after him. Brady Waslin has a very, very heavy shot. He shaped that one just right. Well, Van Gorp just inside his own blue line. Inside of 8 remaining, second period. 1-0 London. Played to the corner. Clark pins his man up against the boards, and Cristoforo will play it off the far side and kick free, and Windsor will bring it in across the line. They just stay on side, but it stood up at the blue line. Here's Nurmi. Van Gorp racing toward the net. He just couldn't cup that pass. It was bouncing on him a bit. Sailed off to the boards again. London's Nurmi floats one high and wide. Back to the blue line, Bruce Devich and Joey Costanzo with a veteran move to stop things up.
Well, Cohen Bidgood fights his way through traffic here. He gets this puck out in front to Waslin as Waslin fires that back across his body. I'm not sure if that hit Cristoforo's stick or not, but it went high and wide on Waslin as the London Knights pushing back on the Spitfires here at the midway point in this period.
So the face-off to the left of Joey Costanzo. Nickel up against Nesbitt, turned around. Windsor will control. They'll have a chance to clear, and Woodall will send it in. Gatto out to play it. Mitchell sets up shot deep in his own territory. Here's Will Nickel. Weaves his way in across the Windsor blue line. Hard to the net. One hands it. Chance to score. Will Nickel backhands it home.
Well, this is all speed in the neutral zone as the London Knights. Will Nickel gains the outside here on Robinson, takes that hard to the net and just bangs that rebound into the 5-hole on Joey Costanzo. We're going to have to wait and see whether the Windsor Spitfires want a challenge on this play for goaltender interference, because Nickel did come in contact with Joey Costanzo on the play, but he hung in to bang that rebound in behind him on the play. And if Nickel's goal stands here, it'll be his 14th of the season as the Spitfires say that they're not going to challenge on this play, and I think that's a wise move by head coach Greg Walters.
I agree. Walters had a peek on the bench, and he said, play on.
Well, for Will Nickel, it was all speed on the outside as he had Robinson trying to check him. He just could not catch up to him. Took it directly to Joey Costanzo off the pads. Comes right back to Nickel. He hangs around long enough to bang that into the 5-hole to give the London Knights a 2-0 lead here.
One cleanly back to the line. The shot just fired wide. That might have hit a stick. And just went wide. Bidgood centering pass, and Davis will track it, and he'll sky it back out through to center ice. Here's Hawkins. Finless. Waslin has it bounce over his stick. Paddle down for Joey Costanzo and played around the board for the veteran Kennedy. Waslin trying to pick it off, and it rolls down the length of the ice. Icing's waved off, of course, and played on for Finnis once again. Hawkins touches it in across the line. Waslin in on the forward check. Sent up the boards again. Look at Clark, pick that off. He shoots it right on, and Joey Costanzo stucks that right pad out to make the great save after Clark read that pass all the way.
Well, the Windsor Spitfire defender pushes this puck directly into the middle of the ice and onto Clark's stick. Clark picks it up in the slot area And look at Costanzo with the pad save right there. Costanzo is the reason this game is only 2-0 at this point. The London Knights have outchanced the Windsor Spitfires in tonight's hockey game.
So the Knights with another good look, and it wasn't for Joey Costanzo, they might be up 2 or 3. Played along the boards, and Windsor, 5 abreast, will emerge in across the line. Here's Cole Davis waiting, spins off the checking Azu, now hard to the net, and he's going to draw the penalty against Davis. A much shorter Davis, and he's going to take the high sticking call, I believe, Rick. Zoo is. When we come back, Windsor to the power play to try to tie things up.
From Optimus TV Bingo. For a chance to win extra spending money, tune in to Optimus TV Bingo Monday nights at 8 p.m. For details on tickets, go to tvbingo.ca.
Well, Zoo takes his seat in the penalty box as he takes a holding call against Cole Davis. And this is the first power play opportunity in tonight's hockey game.
So Windsor has a golden opportunity to tie this hockey game. Down low, centering pass. Demis stem that one off. Greentree on the back end. He'll be the quarterback. He peppered that one right on, and a good blocker saved by the goaltender, Sebastian Gatto. Here's the LA's first rounder, Greentree again, waltzing his way in across the line, but the Knights thwart that opportunity, and they'll shoot it down the ice.
Number 87, Jackson Cover, and number 77,
Woodall.
I
believe he's got 52 assists this year. In across the line, they stay onside. Josh Woodall hard to the net, turns off the checking back to the blue line. Cristoforo on the fours D man. Woodall in, takes a peek, top of the circle, feeds it down low. Now off the boards again. Nesbitt drags it up onto the blade. Biviger with a shot right. Oh, and centering pass. Up front, bouncing puck again, and it just bounced through the tape and greased off to the corner. High slot area opportunity. Here's Nesbitt in front of the net. He couldn't drop it off the low post. Sent off to the corner. And now we got a stoppage in play.
Well, Sebastian Gatto with two big saves here on the Windsor Spitfires as they're buzzing down low in that blue paint as Gatto gets across and he gets a pad down on this play right here and deflects that in behind the net. Sebastian Gatto matching the play of Joey Costanzo at the other end. The shots on goal now 23-22 in favor of the London Knights with 4:23 remaining here in the second period. The Spitfires will remain on the power play for the next 35 seconds, and it looks like this face-off is coming outside Sloaney, as they're saying the Windsor Spitfires were the ones that covered the puck up down low in the London Knights zone. The Spitfires this year have been 5 for 16 against the London Knights with the manpower advantage. This is their 17th opportunity.
Still 35 seconds remaining in Windsor's power play opportunity. They drop the puck outside the London blue line. London will control, and they'll shoot it down the ice. Here's Robinson starting out for Windsor, through to center ice. Now will tag Harvey. He'll pick his way to the line, and a good read by Jesse Nurmi. Boy, he stemmed it off, but he just couldn't get it free for himself, but it rolls out and back in offside.
Well, the London Knights doing a good job late in this penalty kill to keep the Spitfires in the neutral zone here. Jesse Nurmi, good eye-hand coordination right at the blue line. They'll drop the puck in the neutral zone.
Still 15 remaining. London again wins the draw. And they'll shoot it down the ice, and that should do it for the penalty. They still have 7 seconds remaining, but they got to get off ice. Fed down the wing. McKeesh wheels in across the line, turns off the checking a one-man. London will bounce it back out through to center ice, and Zoo will go directly to the bench, and we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Played around the boards. Hawkins on his off wing and leaves it there for Brady Waslin. Dumps it into Windsor territory. Good. Hunts it down into the corner. Now Waslin on his man, and Harvey out through to center ice. In across the line, quick shot. Rebound by Gatto after making the save, and Bruce Stevich will tag himself in the corner and lead it out through to center ice. Pass intended for Bidgood, too far for him, and now icy against the Knights.
Well, Brady Waslin with 18 goals on the season. He just took an elbow from Garden. That's what he's discussing with the referee here. There's only been the one penalty so far in this hockey game. We saw that the last time these two teams played here at Canada Life Place, and the Spitfires were rewarded the penalty on that evening, as the power play on that evening as well.
So Windsor will have the face-off deep in London's territory. They'll control. Sent in behind the net and over here on the near side and bounced out and rolls down the ice. And the big man Walton will try to race back, but London's caught on another icing.
Well, Walton has a brother playing for the Peterborough Petes this year. Of course, Connor Walton and his brother are twins, as we have 13 combinations of brothers playing in the Ontario Hockey League this season. 2:56 remains in this second period.
Yeah, the Pete's in a very similar position as London as far as seeding. Oh, lead pass back out through to center ice, hops over the stick of Waslin, and one more time they'll face off in London's territory.
Well, very tough to get any flow in this hockey game now, as the Knights trying to stretch the ice out and the Spitfires pressing, trying to get the forecheck going here. Shot clock all knotted up now at 23 apiece, with 2:46 remaining in period number 2.
Yeah, last couple of minutes, Windsor's been pressing, trying to tie this hockey game up. Mind you, they've had a power play. They win yet again another draw. There's a tip in front of the net. They like to do that. And I believe the goaltender, Gatto, got a piece, and now we got the net going off the hooks.
Well, the Knights are doing a great job of boxing the Spitfires out in front of that net. That left Gatto all alone to cover up that rebound on the play. Of course, Vandeven was one of the defensemen out there to box the Spitfires out. He's taking a regular shift here in this second period, up from the Kamoka Kings, who were eliminated from the playoffs this season.
Well, this time the face-off will be to the right of Sebastian Gatto. Nesbitt waved out of there. Green Tree in to take it. He's a left-handed shot. Up against Will Nickel. Oh boy, that goes out. I think there's a penalty here, Rick.
There is. It's going to be a delay of game penalty as that puck goes directly out. And this is going to go to Mitchell as that puck came to him off the draw. And you can see the puck is rolling around off the boards, and he lifts that and it goes straight out and into the crowd. As the Windsor Spitfires go on to the power play for the second time in tonight's hockey game. They've been 5 for 17 on the season against the Knights. This is their 18th opportunity. 2:36 remains here in this second period.
So another golden opportunity for Windsor late in the second period. There's a quick shot, bounced around. Bruce Stevich trying to clear the zone. Nesbitt to the corner. Trying to link it back to the line, but look at Clark pin that one off. And now Jesse Nurmi hard to the net. He just couldn't get it past Costanzo as he was racing toward the net. Clark got him the puck. 2 overagers going hard as the Knights have a good look on the PK. Braintree queuing it up. Windsor in across the line with Woodall and Cristoforo. Pass, high slot, Nesbitt. Litzen back to the line, and Bibiger off to the wing. High slot area, shot just wide. Might have got a piece of that. Up the boards again. High slot area. Bibiger wants it back, gets it. Quick shot, tipped in front of the net, wide in behind the cage. Now a center pass, and Nesbitt parked in front of the net, and a power play goal, and Windsor will tie this hockey game up.
Well, Jack Nesbitt, he parks himself in front of the net as this puck will spill back down below the line here. And you can see he just pushes it right out in front of the net. And Jack Nesbitt makes no mistake recording his 22nd of the season on the power play. And that draws the Windsor Spitfires to within 1 of the London Knights. Just 1 minute and 34 seconds remains here in period number 2. That's a big goal at this point in the hockey game.
Yeah, you're right, Ruck. Not tie it up. They're within 1, though. Nickel Sokolowski. Nickel with the second goal for the Knights. And Windsor within 1. And we're approaching the 1-minute mark remaining here in the second period. Shots are tight. 23 for the Knights, 24 for Windsor. Nudged in across the line and played over for Sokolowski. Garden picks that one up. Harvey in across the net. Davis fans on the shot, and Colbert bounces one out through to center ice, and it's filed in deep courtesy of Ryan Brown. Up on it is Nickel. Play to the corner. Cover waits for it, and off the checking of Brown. Back to Nickel. Walton. Garden. Boards again. All tied up. Cover overskated. Garden wins the battle, and they'll sail it around the boards, and Harvey comes up with it, and he'll can't get it past Van Gorp off the bench. Back to famous quick shot right off. Blocker saved by the goaltender Joey Costanzo, and now Windsor back the other way with 14 seconds remaining in the period. Sokolowski with that long reach, played around the boards where Vimis will drag it up onto the blade, and he'll try to waste out the second period. And it is in the books. Sokolowski, Nickel scoring for the London Knights, and the Philadelphia Flyers prospect in Nesbitt ties it up on the power play. Stay tuned for Sophie in the second intermission.
As the seasons change, GWB Heating and Cooling is there to make your home comfortable. From furnace inspections to full system installations, their licensed experts handle every detail with care. Homeowners trust GWB. Simple, honest quality.
Vector offers recovery and performance programs to improve your quality of life. Their active therapy approach helps with pain, mobility, and strength. Located in London, Ontario, they focus on personalized care to support your wellness journey.
For unparalleled construction services, municipalities, farms, and companies turn to Vambry Infrastructure. With a full range of heavy civil services, an experienced team, and diverse fleet, Vambry Infrastructure provides very bold solutions.
Don't be distracted and leave your cooking unattended.
Stand by your pan and look while you cook.
of the leaders in London. Tune in to Newsmakers every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. or if you missed that viewing, Newsmakers airs again at 6 p.m. on Fridays right before the warm-up. Welcome back. I'm here with all three overagers of the London Knights, Braden Clark, Jesse Nurmi, and Caden Hawkins. Caden, we'll start with you. I know your time in London was short, just the one season, but what was your experience like?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, the guys welcomed us in right away, and we're just super grateful for it, and the city of London can't beat it. So fans are great, city's great, and it's just a great atmosphere to play in every night.
And Braden, same for you, just the 1 year here in London, but what does this group and the city mean to you?
I mean, it means everything, especially because I was only here for 1 year, and they brought me in with welcoming arms, and it was just awesome, and they're a big family to me.
Jesse, you had the chance to win a Memorial Cup in your junior hockey career. Not many people can say that. How special is that to you to be a part of that history?
Yeah, for sure, big thing for the London Knights and for every player who was on that team too. And just long season last season, and let's keep going.
Caden, how would you describe playing in Canada Life Place?
Probably going to be the best place I'll ever play in, to be honest. It's first time I stepped out on that ice and just heard those fans. It was unbelievable. I can't really explain it.
Braden, what are you going to take away from your experience here through your future in hockey?
I mean, I know I'll always have this as part of my life and my career, and it'll be good to look back on, and I'm proud to say that I was a London Knight. So.
And Jesse, when you came halfway through this season, the fans were so excited to have you back. What does that support mean to you?
Yeah, for sure. Every game it's packed here, and just best fans in the league, and it was pretty awesome to come back.
Okay, gentlemen, before we go, we'll go in this order. If you could describe your junior hockey career in one word, what are you going to use?
One word? I mean, incredible.
Awesome.
I'd say,
you got to pick something different.
Matured a lot.
Okay, 2 words, but that's okay. Thank you so much for your time, gentlemen, and congratulations on amazing junior hockey careers. I look forward to seeing what you guys do in the future.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll be right back with some more Knights hockey here on Rogers TV after this.
Coulter's Pharmacy is the new home of London Healthcare and Ostomy Center. Our expert team provides products and advice from ostomy, wound care, compression garments, and so much more. At Coulter's Pharmacy, get the customized care that is right for you.
Welcome to the all-new Adams Building Supply. Contractors enjoy a designated entrance and service desk designed exclusively with the pro in mind. We're here to provide you with expert guidance and advice, ensuring your projects are a success.
At Sumner Jewelers, we have been serving London and area since 1902. We specialize in custom jewelry designs and invite you to bring us your ideas. Trusted for over 120 years at 392 Richmond Street, between King and Dundas. For more than 26 years, Duramed Mobility has proudly served as your trusted partner in home healthcare equipment and mobility solutions. Whether you're looking to purchase, rent, or repair, our dedicated team is here to support your journey to greater independence and comfort.
If you are considering divorce, talk to the family law experts at Drake Law. Find out what your options are. Divorce doesn't have to be a fight, but when there's a lot at stake, call Drake. DrakeLaw.ca.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks, and it shattered her world.
Check it out. Now, more Ontarians qualify for the Ontario Electricity Support Program. You could get a monthly on-bill credit of $35 or more. Apply at OESP.
Optimus TV Bingo is back every Monday night at 8 p.m. Playing cards are available at multiple locations in London and are good for all 3 games. The money raised funds projects that help youth in our community. Optimus TV Bingo every Monday night at 8 p.m. on Rogers TV. I'd like to welcome back in Rick and Greg. Gentlemen, a bit of a more eventful second period.
In that period, London with 2 goals and Windsor won. They lead at 2-1 after 2 periods of play. Rick, let's take a look at the period summary brought to you by Vanbury Enterprises.
Well, Sokolowski gets things started off for the London Knights here as they gain the zone. Cover finds him in the slot area. He makes no mistake scoring his 2nd goal of the season. Both of them coming against the Windsor Spitfires and Joey Costanzo, and then Will Nickel on the outside. This is just speed as he gets around Robinson, and then he tucks it in on the rebound. He finds the 5-hole. That's his 14th of the season, and the London Knights out in front 2-0. Then they get into penalty trouble here as the Windsor Spitfires push this back down in behind the net, and Jack Nesbitt sets up in the slot area, and he pushes that puck into the 5-hole behind Gatto. That's his 4th goal in 6 games, his 22nd of the season. That's a power play marker, his 11th power play marker of the season, as the London Knights have yet to have a power play in this hockey game. The Spitfires 1 for 2 with the manpower advantage. The Spitfires taking advantage in the face-off dot in that second period. They've won 58% of the draws in tonight's game, and the Spitfires outshoot the Knights in period number 2, 14-11. It's all knotted up at 24 apiece as we head into the 3rd period. The Knights with a 1-goal lead.
Well, a tight game here in London. Let's take a look at that ever-popular out-of-town scoreboard, Rick.
Well, all kinds of implications on this out-of-town scoreboard tonight. The Guelph Storm up on the Owen Sound attack, and certainly the Guelph Storm would retake the 6th seed in the Western Conference if they can come out with the victory in that game. It looks like the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds have things well in hand against the Saginaw Spirit at home tonight. That has implications for the London Knights in tonight's hockey game. Certainly the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds trail the Knights by 1 point as the Knights in a tough contest here against the Windsor Spitfires.
So a big game up in the Sioux, and as you mentioned, the Sioux well in hand up in Sault Ste. Marie against the Saginaw Spirit, who beat the Greyhounds the other night in Saginaw. And of course, London was winning in Guelph to take that 1-point lead. So crucial this year. Let's talk about the rookie, Jacob Vandenven. Rick, I thought he has played very well on the back end for the London Knights.
Well, this is his 7th game in a London Knight uniform, and of course, he came down as part of that trade for Julian Brown heading up to Owen Sound, and the London Knights get Vandeven back in that trade. Of course, he was playing with the Kamoka Kings this season, but he's taken a regular shift in that second period on the back end. He's acquainted himself rather nicely over the 7 games, and certainly he's making a case for himself to be on that blue line on a regular basis next season.
Joey Costanzo and Sebastian Gatto has played very well tonight in both ends of the rink. Let's start off with Costanzo, Rick. He's made, 3 or 4 big saves to keep this game just at 1.
Well, at that point in the hockey game, when the Knights went up 2-0, Costanzo made 2 saves back-to-back right after the Knights took the 2-0 lead. Those are important saves because the Windsor Spitfires get awarded with 2 power plays late in that period. They make good on one of them as Cristoforo finds Nesbitt in the slot, and that makes it a 2-1 hockey game. Very tight. Both teams have to win, and that's exactly what you want late in the season in a London-Windsor game.
Yeah, you gotta like it. Sophie, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll be right back with some more Knights hockey here on Rogers TV after this.
Need an SUV? Finch Hyundai's got it. Need a car? Finch Hyundai's got it. Low rate financing, unbeatable deals, superb customer service. Got it, got it, got it. Visit the largest volume Hyundai dealership in Ontario. Check us out at finchhyundai.com.
Drivers trust Oil Guard London for proven rust protection.
We use Formula 2 No Drip from Oil Guard. We love it because it doesn't make a mess and it works.
30 minutes at Oil Guard for year-round peace of mind. At IDS, we have the tools your business needs to be successful, from office printing to communications and full IT services. IDS allows our clients to focus on what they do best.
Homeowners and designers trust Progressive Countertop, a Canadian company. They carry the best-owned surfaces like Handstone Quartz, proudly manufactured in London. With expert design services and installation, you can bring design to the surface with Progressive Countertop.
When the temperature and air quality in your home aren't quite right, GWB Heating and Cooling can help. Their licensed technicians provide top-notch furnace maintenance and full system installs for a comfortable, fresh home. GWB, serving the London St. Thomas area.
I'm Heather from Optimus TV Bingo. For a chance to win extra spending money, tune in to Optimus TV Bingo Monday nights at 8 p.m. For details on tickets, go to tvbingo.ca.
For 25 years, you've been helping to make our roads safer by doing the right thing. You've been the designated driver, you've stayed over, called home, you've called a cab or a friend, and planned ahead. Let's keep doing the right thing. Support sober driving by getting yourself and your friends home safely. Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Tune in to the Paul Harper Show on Jack 102.3 weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. Jack 102.3, 80s, 90s, more. Let's have a look now at the save of the period, brought to you by MNP. If your debt is out of control, you're not alone, and it is Joey Costanzo with a huge save there on Braden Clark. Now for the second period scoring summary, brought to you by Finch Hyundai. Maxim Sokolowski started things off for the London Knights this evening, his second of the season and his second against the Windsor Spitfires. Will Nickel then put London up by 2 with an incredible individual effort. But then Jack Nesbitt on the power play got his team on the board and within 1. The Spitfires outshot the Knights 14-11 in that second period, and we're all tied up at 24-24 total through the first 2. Now the turning point of the period is brought to you by Drake Divorce Lawyers. When there's a lot at stake, call Drake, and it is Will Nickel. He showed an incredible amount of speed and individual effort there. For his 14th of the season, that put London up by 2 at the time, and as of right now, stands as the game winner. Now we know it'll be a London Knights Sioux Greyhound matchup in the next first round of the playoffs, but we just don't know the schedule yet, so stay tuned to find out, as we'll have every game for you here on Rogers TV. We'll be right back with the third period coming up next.
From landscaping and agriculture to municipal works, reliable aggregates deliver lasting results. VB sources from their own sand and gravel pits, ensuring quality and consistency for projects of all sizes. VB Sand and Gravel, delivering the very best.
Smoke alarms expire after 10 years. Check the date and test your smoke alarm today.
A working smoke alarm is a gift the whole family can enjoy.
Follow us online at LDNONT Fire.
Choose a hydrovac company with skilled technicians and a reputation you can trust. Choice Hydrovac crews bring the expertise and precision you can count on to keep projects on time. The best equipment, the right people, one choice, many solutions.
Welcome to the all-new Adams Building Supply. We're proud to introduce our team of talented building supply experts. Explore our expanded product selection with an improved layout, making it easier than ever to find what you need for your next project.
For your next flooring project, check out Beckham Brothers at Great Floors St. Thomas, both trusted Canadian brands. Beckham Brothers create stunning engineered hardwood tile and luxury vinyl. Add expert installation with Great Floors St. Thomas. With Great Floors and Beckham Brothers, you win.
I love being a champ.
I am a member of the Warham's Child Amputee Program.
Through CHAMP, I get the artificial limbs I need to participate in everyday activities.
I'm always growing, so I always need new devices.
Support and helpful information on living with an amputation is available to me anytime.
I get to meet other kids that are just like me.
It's your donations that make the War Amps CHAMP program possible. Thanks.
Okay, back here at Canada Life Place, getting set for the third period. Rick, let's take a look at the shots on goal. Brought to you by GWD Heating and Cooling.
Well, a very entertaining hockey game tonight. What you would expect from Windsor and London. The Spitfires outshoot the Knights in that second period. 14-11. We're all knotted up at 24 apiece with a 2-1 score in favor of London heading into the third period.
Well, the London Knights scored 2 big goals in that second period. Sokolowski with his second goal of the season. And Will Nickel now has 14 goals. You got to remember, Nickel only came back right around Christmas time.
Well, you're talking about 30 games for Will Nickel, and he's already got 14 goals. He got stuck on 19 last year, so big improvement for Will Nickel. Of course, he had some upper body issues that he had taken care of during the offseason. That's what delayed him until December. But Will Nickel was a very, very good pickup for the London Knights as a 19-year-old in December, and he's starting to show up on the score sheet more often, and it's mainly due to speed.
And that would be bode well for the Edmonton Oilers to see Nickel scoring goals in the Ontario Hockey League. We talked about it off air. Rec goaltending will be a big thread in this third period.
Well, all of a sudden, you have the goaltenders that'll be under pressure here in a one-goal hockey game as Costanzo and Gatto have been outstanding in their respective creases for the respective hockey clubs. They both faced 24 shots in here through 2 periods. Costanzo, he made 22 saves. Gatto, he's made one more at 23, and that's the difference in the hockey game. But the pressure in period number 3 will be on the next save and the goaltenders.
Well, they dropped the puck at center ice. London with a 1-goal lead. They lead it 2-1 after 2. Windsor will start out deep in their own territory. Pushed ahead. Greentree in across the line. Just lost control, and Mitchell will carry it out through the center ice. Dumped in, courtesy of Nesbitt, who had the power play goal, nudges it ahead for himself. He almost got a clean shot away. Denied by Gatto. Sent to the corner, back to the blue line, now in behind the net. Now here's a sharp angle attempt, courtesy of Cristoforo, and it's hard off the boards, and Windsor wants to tie this one up rather early here in the third period. Here's Greentree lugging it out. He's a load to handle. Quick shot, knocked out in front of the net, and the net goes off the moorings after a Windsor coming out strong and napped up here in the third.
Now there was a nice play by Nurmi here. Mitchell broke his stick. As he comes around the net here, you can see Greentree and Mitchell with no stick. Nurmi hands the stick back to the defender, which is exactly what you want to do, and then goes up and blocks this shot that Greentree was taking. The net's knocked off the moorings. This faceoff will come outside because Nesbitt was the one that knocked it off the moorings. We have 19-11 here remaining in regulation time, and the Spitfires with a bit of a push here in this first minute of the third.
Yeah, there's a veteran hockey club. You can't go to sleep on them for a second. Played back out through to center ice, bounced in deep. Fimis after it, trying to clear the zone. Robinson keeping it in. Lodge free, Garden has it. Harvey in there as well, and Sokolowski trying to play it around the boards. He fanned on the attempt. Boy, Culver with a bit of a dangerous pass, but Nickel out to clear the zone, and up with it is Kennedy for the Spitfires. McKeesh just gets it in across the line, and Ryan Brown has it for the London Knights. 22 goals on the season, plays it off the board, bouncing pockets the Windsor blue line, and now the D will take it for themselves deep in Windsor territory. Robinson back out through to center ice, rinses it in deep around the base of the boards. Harvey guides it back in behind the net. McLaughlin trying the center attempt, gets it out, but Brown there to pick it up, and he'll clear the zone. And it's just nudged in across the line, and wholesale changes now for the London Knights. Here's Walton. He'll lead the four-man assault. Sends it in hard off the boards. Funk after it, and I believe that's going to be icy, Rick.
It is going to be an icy call on the play as we have 17:54. Linus Funk, a fourth-round pick of the Colorado Avalanche, playing in his first year in the Ontario Hockey League. Shots 2 in this period for the Windsor Spitfires so far, nothing for the Knights.
So the Knights have a face-off deep in Windsor territory. On the draw, the Knights win it, but the Spitfires winger beats his man, and they'll usher it back out through to center ice. Dumped in deep, Gatto around the rails and glass, and it's sent back out and down in across the line. Bid good, the Peterborough native in on the hunt. Played it around here on the near side. Waslin getting tied up with McLaughlin. Cole Davis in there as well, and the rookie will clear the zone. He was 21st overall in the OHL priority selection draft this past April. McLaughlin was. Call him Johnny Mac down in Windsor. Played up along the boards again. Swatted in, and Hawkins with the little dash. Perstab in front of the net. As the Knights winger. That was Waslin. Got knocked down. He went forehand, backhand, and it just rolled off the tip of his stick. London with a good look. There's Graintree back the other way. Slot area gets the shot. And it sailed off to the corner and half boards after Gatto got a piece of it. Woodall once again shoots it into the corner. Did good. Cristoforo back to the blue line. Clean pass. Quick shot. Fire wide of the mark. And up with it is Graintree again. Sends it up for Fibiger. Former Brampton Steelhead. Now played off the coast again. Now a shot toward the net. Paddled down by the goaltender Gatto. And it's sent over to the far wing. And London having difficulty clearing the zone in this third frame. Finally launched back out. Brought in across the line. Offside at the Windsor blue line.
Well, the London Knights, Brady Waslin had 2 golden scoring opportunities in tonight's hockey game. This is another one. He just gets taken off his feet at the tail end of that as he's trying to corral that puck, go backhand upstairs on Costanzo. He did not get a shot on goal. We have 16:07 remaining here in regulation time.
Drop the puck just outside the Windsor blue line. They'll have to do it again. Brown out there, Nickel, Culver. For the London Knights on the back end, Fimis and Mitchell. Yellow Mitchell. Hailing from Omemee, Ontario, a little town between Lindsay and Peterborough. Off the draw, and Brown will clear it in deep. Costanzo paddled down. In behind the net. Hits a player on the clearing attempt. That was Woodall. Back out through to center ice, and Mitchell will find the winger in Brown, and he'll just relay it in. McKeish with the puck for Windsor. Out through to center ice. Backhands it in deep. Mitchell. Brown for Fimis. Didn't get a lot on that pass. That allows Windsor to keep it in, and that was stroked just wide of the mark, and Harvey up with it. Off the coast again. Windsor on the move. Played over here on the near side. Thrown back into the corner. Up the boards. Harvey. Robinson. Down the coast again. Waits. Stutter step in behind the net. He'll go upstairs. And what a save. I believe Gatto got a piece of that as Robinson was allowed to walk in behind the net and off that high post, and he got the shot away. Bounce back down into Windsor territory. Lead pass, McKeish in across the line. Sent around the boards. Left there by Hawkins. Now the Knights Culver will find a man in Funk. He's a Colorado draft pick, and Ryan Brown has it. Lead pass for the Knights center iceman in Hawkins. He'll just send it in deep. London in on the forecheck, played around the boards again, and Cole Davis has it for Windsor. They'll emerge on the right side as now the Nice defenseman. Sokolowski takes a run at his man. That was Gaines. And played over to the wing, and one of the Spitfires is limping off. That's Davis. He's laboring toward the Windsor bench after taking that hit. Greentree off the bench, and it's offside at the London blue line.
Well, things are heating up in here in this period as Robinson gets down behind the net. He rims the net and comes out right in front as Sokolowski lowers the boom there on Games. As Gatto makes a big save. Joey Costanzo is yet to face a shot here in period number 3. Gatto's made 4 saves in this period so far. We have 14-13 remaining in regulation time.
Gonna drop the puck just outside the London blue line. Nesbitt, you'll get a steady dive to Hammond Greentree in this third period. Off the draw, London will control, and Bruce Stevich has the puck. Lead pass tipped in deep, courtesy of Jesse Nurmi. Played around the boards. Up with it is Van Gorp. Plays it back down into traffic. London in Windsor's territory for probably the second time in this third period. Up into the corner again. Bruce Stevich crunches his man up against the boards, and Walton has some room. Takes the shot right on. Rebound by Gatto, but the Knights D will clear the zone. Here's Greentree settling things down. Clark to the bench in favor of Will Nickel. Good poke check, and Nickel will just send it in deep. In behind the Windsor net. After it are the Spitfires. Lead pass, Greentree, center ice, picked off by Zoo, and Zoo will clear it back down into Spitz territory. Touched up by Joey Costanzo. Cover out there, sweeping attempt to clear. Brown will have to regroup, and he'll play it off for Zoo, but it hopped over his stick. And it's played on for Phimmas. There's a net guard in behind the London net. Viviger after it to the corner. Cover up on the play, and Windsor's out 3 abreast. They'll pick their way to the London blue line. Garden centering pass, and the London D will thwart that opportunity. And it's played back down into Windsor territory. Woodall trying to get the ref to get a high sticking call on the Knights winger. Now Harvey up with it, and Ryan Brown is knocked down, reckon he's in a lot of discomfort. When we come back, there's going to be a power play. I believe it's going to the London Knights.
Culligan Water has been London Region's trusted source for drinking water systems, water softeners, and problem water solutions for over 85 years. Cleaner, better water for you and your household is easy and more convenient than ever. Culligan, water you love. At The Hearing Place, we transform lives with personalized hearing care. Our exceptional audiology services and tailored treatment plans empower your journey to better hearing, ensuring compassionate support and solutions designed uniquely for you.
Windshield replacement you can trust. Cracked windshield? We've got you covered. We replace windshields for all makes and models in our shop or wherever your vehicle is located. We're open late 7 days a week for your convenience. From a team you can count on.
This third period is brought to you by Great Floors.
Well, Caden Harvey takes a seat in the penalty box. As this puck goes across, you can see Harvey comes up and he elbows Brown on the way by before he picks that puck up. So the London Knights go on to the power play for the first time in tonight's hockey game against the Spitfires this season. They've been 2 for 11 with the manpower advantage. This is their 12th opportunity and a golden opportunity. It is Sloaney a 2-1 hockey game with 12:33 remaining in regulation time.
That's certainly an opportunity, is right, Rick, as the Knights go on the power play. Phimmas out there, Bruce Stevich. Windsor will win the draw and is immediately cleared down the length of the ice. Kohler out there, Jesse Nurmi and Ryan Brown. He just took that hit. He'll play the wing as well. There's Bruce Stevich. And across the line, fed on the left side for Jesse Nurmi. Around the boards, Cover up on it is Brown, knocks it down, and now Windsor will clear the zone in a bouncing puck and is on to the glove and blocker of Sebastian Gatto. Here's Will Nickel. Picks his way to the Windsor blue line, and that shot off the outside of the glove of Joey Costanzo. And it goes back down into London's territory. Nothing brewing yet for London's first power play in this hockey game. Shuttled down the ice once again, and Gatto out to play it. And there's about a minute remaining in the Harvey Minor. 2-1 London. 8 minutes, 30 seconds off the clock in this third period. Dumped into the corner. Here's Fimis. Cross ice feed for Brady Waslin. Shoots it in off the glass. Then he takes a bit of a stick. Waslin around the boards for Clark. Back in for Waslin. In behind the net. Twisting, turning off the checking of Fibiger. Back to the blue line. Backhanded. Out of play. And we'll have a face-off outside.
Well, the Windsor Spitfires doing a great job on their penalty kill. They're the #1 penalty killing unit in the Ontario Hockey League. They operate at an 83% efficiency all season long. There's just 35 seconds remaining on the penalty to Harvey. This faceoff will come outside into the neutral zone with 11:08 remaining here in regulation time. The Knights with just the one shot on goal so far in this period.
Knights will control the draw. Knifed in across the line, and again the Spitfires D will clear the zone. The Knights only have about 22 seconds remaining on this power play. Dumas. Mitchell now will try his luck. Right side pass, Bidgood. Round the base of the boards, and Clark hard into the corner. Now around the dasher, and Mitchell will knock it down at the line to keep it in off to the open corner. Fibiger in behind the net, and Harvey out now. And it's sent down the ice, and I believe it hit Harvey, so icing is waved off. Nothing at all on that power play for London. Here's Bidgood. Strokes it in behind the net. Trying to get it back to Funk, and Windsor back out through to center ice, and Garden now will feed Greentree. And across the line, little stutter step, now plays it down the boards. Wood all up on the play as well. Funk gets twisted around, but he gets it to the line, and Brustevich will help him out, and Nurmi will just chip it to the Windsor blue line. Here's Van Gorp. He'll go hard to the net, and he shot that one just wide on the move as he was going in the crease. Greentree back the other way. Brustevich, there's a couple LA first rounders, and Brustevich, there's a chance. Front of the net, and Robertson couldn't drop the payload, and Gatto with the save.
Well, we talked about the pressure on the goaltenders in this period, and certainly Gatto's come up to that pressure here as Robinson gets that puck right in the slot area, gets the backhand away, but Gatto covers that up, takes it off the chest protector, no rebound to speak of, and we're past the midway point here in period number 3. 9:39 remains in regulation time. It's a 2-1 hockey game in favor of London.
On the draw, London will control, play back out through to center ice. Shot in deep again. Halfway through this third period, London up by a goal. Here's Cover, who's been quiet tonight. For the Knights, he'll get things started at center ice. Now weaves his way to the line, gets checked up, and Fimis will just drill it into Windsor's territory. There's a sharp angle shot, and Costanzo had to be good on that one. Lit back to the line. Fimis with a shot, and that goes off his shin pad. In behind the net, Ryan Brown after it. Ferron into the corner, Brown after him, Nickel in there as well, set back into traffic, Cover up with it, feeds Brown, tab back, picked off by Windsor's D and sent over to the boards. That was Robinson, but the Knights will clear it back in. Played around here on the near side, picked up by Will Nickel. Having a great game for London. Nickel with the go-ahead goal, he shoots it, and it's another shin pad, and it's lofted back out. Vanderbilt clears it back in. Wholesale changes for both hockey clubs with the exception of Wilson, who takes refuge deep in his own territory. Windsor out, 3 abreast now. As Davis picks his way to the London blue line, trying to go wide on Zoo. Mitchell around the boards and Waslin up with it. Can't clear the zone. Garden with a good stem there, but second opportunity for Waslin will clear the zone. Waslin hailing from Campbellville, Ontario, and the shot back in. I believe it's going to be an icing call against the Windsor Spitfires.
Well, Caleb Mitchell with a point on the goal by Will Nickel. He started the play in behind the net, as Mitchell has been very good for the London Knights in the back half of the season. That's his 23rd point of the campaign. 5 goals and 18 assists now for Caleb Mitchell.
London will have the face-off deep in Windsor's territory. The Spitfires will control inside of 8 remaining in regulation time. Van Gore trying to boot it back to the D-man and Zoo, and fed back to Van Gore. Walker native will clear it in deep, and Walton after it, played around the boards and picked up by Kennedy. Kennedy out through to his own blue line, chips it in across the London blue line, and Funk directing traffic. He'll play it around the boards. London will clear the zone, knock down Windsor's cut. They'll have to regroup and tag up. Back out, picked off by Greentree. Boy, he reads it all the way. That's why he's a first rounder. Greentree hard to the corner, around the base of the boards. Woodall back to the blue line, finding some real estate. Tipped in front of the net. That was Cristoforo tipping that one, and he just shanked it wide of the mark. Play back down into Windsor territory. Cover in on the hustle against Woodall. He's pinned up against the board. Now Cover coming out with these pretty soft breathing. Got the sharp angle shot away, and Joey Costanzo to the rescue. Here's Bruce Devich with the shot. Knocked down in front of the net, and Greentree will pick it up at his own line. Fed over to Woodall. In across the line, Nesbitt. He'll hanker in that slot area. Now some room for Greentree, and he fired that one over top of the net. Might have hit a stick. Played up against the boards, hard on the far side, and up with it is Woodall. Over to the bench. Fibiger shoots it in deep. Approaching the 6-minute mark remaining here in regulation time. Windsor with 32 shots, London with 26 shots, but it stands 2-1 for London still. Shot in deep. Key after it in the corner, played up against the boards. Linked back to the line. Robinson, who had the golden opportunity, fights off the checking. Now a centering pass in front of the net. McKeish off that high post. Just couldn't corral it. And boy, Robinson with 3 goals last Sunday, playing a heck of a game tonight. Here at Canada-like place as well. Now shot around here on the near side, and Fimis up on the play. Fimis sent in deep. Rope to the corner, now in behind the net, and Robinson up with it once again, and the Spitfires are out through to center ice, but the errant pass goes on to the blade of Bidgood. He'll shoot it back into Windsor's ice. Robinson now feed out through to the center ice area. McKeish will just lob it into London's ice, and changes now for Windsor. London clearing the zone. Jesse Nurmi at the line, shoots it into the glove of Joey Costanzo. Taking it home here in downtown London. Knights still up by a goal.
When I do becomes I'm done.
Talk to the family law experts at Drake Law. Divorce doesn't have to be a fight, but when there's a lot at stake, call Drake. DrakeLaw.ca.
Well, Sebastian Gatto hasn't curled underneath the pressure here as he's faced 9 Windsor Spitfires shots here in period number 3. And with exactly 5 minutes remaining in regulation time, the Knights out in front, 2-1. Big points for both hockey clubs at stake tonight.
The veteran forward line for the London Knights out deep in Windsor territory, and the Spitfires will control the draw. Garden yet again wins it. Lead pass for Walton, hops over his stick. Funk will clear it in deep. Costanzo leaving it there for Brown. Hot pass broken up by Jesse Nermy, and he'll just peel it back in. Windsor out through to center ice, and now the Spitfires will dump it into London's territory. Sokolowski off a skate and skittered back out through to center ice, and a shot into the glove of Sebastian Gatto. Funk in behind his own net, hard around the boards. That'll be an icing for sure. And Windsor gets the face-off deep. 4:18 remaining.
Well, a little bit of a miscue there by the London Knights defenders as Sokolowski goes back behind the net. Funk just rims that puck as he was concerned with the pressure coming down from the Spitfires. So the face-off inside the London zone with 4:18 remaining here in regulation time. So the clock becoming a factor for the Spitfires.
Nesbitt won the draw, but the Knights get there first, and they'll bounce it out through to center ice. All the big guns out for Windsor. Cristoforo on that right side, Green Tree. And of course, Nesbitt. Here's Cristoforo wheeling in across the line, and the eye-hand coordination of Green Tree batted that one wide of the mark. Off the boards and played back out. And Woodall has it for Windsor. Woodall trying to get past Covert. Gets it in across the line, hits his skate, rolls out, and now Will Nickel tracks it. Nickel, Funk, long right wing pass. I believe it was touched by Brown, so icing is waved off and played around the boards. Lead pass through to center ice. Green Tree tags Cristoforo. Back to Nesbitt, and a bouncing puck, and Sokolowski along with Will Nickel will pick that one off. Rimmed around the base of the boards again. Tipped in front of the net. Ryan Brown boots it up onto the blade, and he'll feed Will Nickel. Brown will go hard to the net. On the dime, Nickel looking for a man. He loses it to Woodall, and he'll go north the other way, and then gets twisted around. Shot into the corner now in behind the net. Ryan Brown with it. Lob back out through to center ice. We're inside of 3 minutes remaining in regulation time. London 2, Windsor 1. Shot into London's ice. Bruce Devich round the boards. Fimis can't clear the zone off the coast. Bounced off a skate. Here's Harvey to the corner. McLaughlin, he'll anchor in that slot area. Back to the blue line. Now sent toward the net. Brown trying to kick it free, and it's sent back down and behind the net. Fimis ties his man up. Bruce Devich gets twisted around. Robinson in up on the play, and now Bruce Devich takes out Johnny McLaughlin. Now played on for the wing for Ryan Brown. He'll coast down the wing and shoots it into Windsor territory. Harvey, center ice. 2 minutes exactly remaining here in regulation time. Played on for Mitchell. Off the glass. Dumped into Windsor territory. Played up onto the blade of Woodall, and he'll set up shot. Watch for Costanzo to go to the Windsor bench. Led back down into London's territory. There goes Costanzo to the Windsor bench in favor of the extra attacker. Dumped into the corner. Cristoforo at the line. 6 attackers. Windsor, Green Tree way in front of the net. Chance scores. Green Tree. And Windsor ties it up with 1:29 remaining.
Well, this puck was blocked as Green Tree ends up with it in the slot area right here. It comes right back to him, and of course Gatto plays that pass across the seam as Green Tree scores his 37th of the season to tie this hockey game up at 2 apiece with 1:29 remaining here in regulation time. That's a big goal for the Windsor Spitfires. And of course, the London Knights want to drag a point out of tonight's hockey game at least to maintain their lead over the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds.
So a break for the Windsor Spitfires. A friendly bounce to the sniper Greentree, and he put it and deposited the puck into the open net, and we're tied at 2, and we're approaching the 1 minute mark remaining in regulation time and to overtime. Played up the boards, dumped in deep. Fimus with the puck. Back around on the far side. Around here, and Windsor wants to win this one. Right in front of the net, look out! As the goaltender Gatto had the presence of mind to smother it up.
Well, Sebastian Gatto has just come up with his 33rd save of the evening. He's played extremely well in here tonight as Gatto looking for the win in tonight's hockey game to secure that 4 seed against the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. And with just 55.6 seconds remaining here in regulation time, the Spitfires get a face-off deep in the London zone.
Nesbitt on the draw. Cristoforo shooting it right on, and Gatto with the left pad save, and it's dusted back out through to center ice. Shot in deep again. Boy, oh boy, Windsor wants to close this out.
Well, the Windsor Spitfires are out shooting the Knights in this period 13-3 as the Knights tried to protect that lead throughout this third period, but the Spitfires pushed back to tie this hockey game up. We have 44.9 seconds remaining in regulation time.
Kicked over here on the near side. Robinson, Greentree has the tying goal. Wheels off the checking up Bruce Stevich. Lofts it toward the net and into the glove. Gatto.
Well, here we go as Cristoforo comes up too close to the goaltender Gatto on the play, and the London Knights take exception to that. I believe it was Fimus that tried to push him out. Cristoforo was having nothing to do with that. The faceoff should remain inside the London zone as Greentree got the backhand away. Gatto picked it up with his glove as this clock is melting away rather slowly. Just 34.4 seconds remaining now in regulation time. This is the 3rd straight faceoff in the London zone in the last 30 seconds.
Nicola left-handed shot, taking the draw. Scrum ensues, rolls back through the legs of Jesse Nurmi, set toward the net. London will clear the zone, and Robinson will bat it free. 20 seconds remaining. Windsor dumps it in deep. Yanked around here on the near side. Nesbitt lit back to the blue line, and that shot just wired wide of the mark. Cristoforo with the centering attempt, and London will clear the zone in 5 seconds, and Rick London will get a point as we head to overtime.
And that's an important point for the London Knights, as we're assuming that the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds are going to win that hockey game at the second intermission. They were up 5-0 in that game, so the Knights now move to 84 points. We'll assume the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds are going to come out with 2 points in tonight's hockey game. That'll give them 84 points. We're in the third period. It's a 5-1 hockey game. But the difference is the London Knights hold the row over the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds as they have 36 regulation and overtime wins. The Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds with 34 now. So a big point on the line here for the London Knights in tonight's game. And when you have a look at the Windsor Spitfires, that's a big point for them. That gives them 95 points as the Spitfires 2 points up on the Flint Firebirds for that second seed in the Western Conference as we head into overtime here in a 2-2 hockey game. Both goaltenders played extremely well in here tonight. Sebastian Gatto, 39 shots on goal from the Windsor Spitfires. He makes 37 saves on the evening, and you go back down 200 feet into Joey Costanzo's blue paint. And Costanzo, he faced 27 shots in here from the London Knights in tonight's game as Costanzo makes 25 saves on the evening. The Knights only mustered 3 shots on goal in that third period, and 5 minutes goes up on the clock. We go to overtime. This is the second time these teams have gone to overtime this season.
Van Gorp, Ryan Brown, and Bruce Devich employed. The London Knights. Harvey out there. Looks like Woodall and Garten will reply for the Windsor Spitfires. Brown goes off the checking. No, it's slithered right through the blue paint. Nobody home for London. Here's Van Gorp. London controlled. Here's Van Gorp. Tried the wrap around. Rolled off the tip of his stick. Here's Van Gorp again. Hard to the net. Another wrap around and hits a stick. And Bruce Devich comes up with the puck. Henry Bruce Devich will tag it. Ryan Brown. He has that good shot. And he shoots it. And it goes off the skate and off to the corner. Knocked down. Garden clears it back in behind the Windsor net. And the Spitfires will tee it up and get things organized. Of course, Green Tree comes out for the Spitfires, and Woodall is up with it. Nesbitt, Green Tree. Now the big guns out for the Windsor Spitfires. Here's Green Tree and Nesbitt. They'll hanker. Now Green Tree takes a peek, finding a man. Hard to the net is Fibiger. Fibiger twisting, turning, tight ropes the blue line. High slot area dished off for Green Tree. Now it's Windsor's turn to knock things down in front of the net, and Fimis will come up with it. Will Nickel, Jesse Nurmi, Fimis out for the Knights now. A lot of speed by Nickel. In across the line, and Nurmi after it and picked off by Cristoforo. He'll start out deep in his own territory. Lead pass for McKeish. He'll waltz his way in across the line, in behind the net, looking for Cristoforo. Hoy stroked it back to Fibiger, nowhere in sight, and Fibiger has the puck, and now Bruce Devich back out with Van Gorp. Twisting, turning is Cristoforo. In behind the London net with Jackson Cover waltzing his way out. He got the shot away. Here's another shot, and oh, was gunned over top of the net. It hit a stick, and it goes out of play.
Well, a great move by Cristoforo to get some room as he gets separation from him and Jackson Cover in behind the net as Cover over checks on this play right here. That leaves the lane directly to the front of the net, and you can see that Gatto makes a big save on Cristoforo. We have 2:53 remaining in this overtime period. This is a big win for either hockey club with regards to the row. Everybody up in tight, Windsor. We continue in overtime. London wins the draw. Bruce Devich pushed up against the board. Van Gorp having difficulty with Cole Davis. Twisting, turning off the coast again. Davis finds a lane. Now he shoots it right on and smothered up by Sebastian Gatto. Well, Gatto coming up with another save for the London Knights. Just 2:38 remains here. Now the Knights have had possession of the puck on 2 occasions and turned it over to the Windsor Spitfires on those 2 occasions, and we know possession of the puck is everything in a 3-on-3 hockey game. The Knights make wholesale changes with the exception of Brustevich. They leave Brustevich out there. I'm not expecting him to come off the ice for the next 2 minutes and 38 seconds.
So London employs 3 Memorial Cup champions and Nickel, Nurmi, and Bruce Devich. Windsor will control the draw. Here's Green Tree. High in the slot area. Gets the shot away and scooped up nicely by Gatto.
Well, Green Tree, I'm not expecting him to come off the ice too much in the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds either, as Green Tree tied this hockey game up in the third period with 1 minute and 29 seconds remaining. 2-2 score, 2:30 remaining here in the extra frame.
Nesbitt on the draw, kicks it back to Woodall. So Windsor will control with Green Tree off the near side. Here's Nesbitt, waiting, surveys. Nesbitt turns off the checking of Will Nickel and help to regroup at center ice. Green Tree up with it. On for Woodall. Approaching the 2-minute mark remaining here in overtime. Woodall will start out and will find Greentree. Has it hop over his stick, but he'll bust his way toward the net. Brustevich gets twisted around. Now Greentree, look at this move in front of the net, and a bouncing puck will find the blade of Woodall. Down the coast he rolls. Woodall stops, takes a glance, lit back to the Greentree, in and out. Brustevich checks him up. Oh, he almost had the lane. And it's sent back down in the London Knights. All Windsor here in the last 3 minutes. On for Greentree and trying to find Nesbitt lurking off the stick, and now here's Jesse Nurmi, but a great stick again by Woodall. And Nurmi will have to turn back. Lead pass, Brustevich. London making changes. Brown out onto the ice. Along with Brady Waslin. Has the puck. He has that heavy sock. Check that Van Gorp out there. Dished off to Ryan Brown. Brown. Van Gorp will play it off to the wing, and Ryan Brown turns off the checking Mitchell out there. Quick shot and knocked down in front of the net. Now a lead pass for Cristoforo, and they'll bring it in across the line. Chance for Woodall. Cristoforo in there as well. Woodall trying to get past the man. 40 seconds remaining, and he'll have to tuck it back out through to center ice as he has a peek of the clock. Cristoforo, Ryan Brown, Van Gorp out there. Here's Mitchell trying to check his man up. Played off to the boards again. Knocked free, and Garden has it for Windsor. Just 20 seconds to a shootout. Here's Garden. Picks his way to the line. Cristoforo. Oh, Harvey. Boy, that was close, being too many men. 9,000 thought so. Now dished off to the wing. Here's a chance for Windsor. Shot. Great save. Oh, that was Shane wide of the mark. Now another chance in front of the net. As the horn sounds to end overtime. A thrilling overtime here in downtown London.
How big has Sebastian Gatto been in this hockey game for the London Knights? He's faced 42 shots in here as the Windsor Spitfires get a golden opportunity late in this hockey game. It's that second save off the pad that makes all the difference, and then he gets himself into position here as that puck just rolls to him at the tail end. I'm not sure if there's going to be a face-off in the London zone with a few ticks on the clock remaining or not. It's down to 0 right now, and they have the scrapers out on the ice, so I know they're calling for the scorekeepers at the bench here to determine whether there is any time left in the clock. We have a 2-2 hockey game, and all the pressure goes to Costanzo and Gatto in this shootout. And this is a big huge overtime saw-off for the Windsor Spitfires. They get a point out of tonight's game. They go up to 95 points, but the row between them and Flint, regulation and overtime wins, is exactly 40 apiece.
Yes.
So that means they needed to win this hockey game in order to make Sunday afternoon's game in the Sioux a non-game unless the London Knights lose to Flint tomorrow night. There's lots of iterations this late in the season. The last weekend of the regular season, as Jesse Nurmi is going to step in. He's going to be the first shooter for the London Knights, the New York Islander prospect.
Costanzo all ready now as Jesse Nurmi comes in slow off that left side. Shoots, scores! Bullet!
Well, Jesse Nurmi goes wide, and he gets Costanzo to open up the 5-hole, and he finds that 5-hole very quickly, and Nurmi puts the Knights in a good position after one shot, as we have Nesbitt stepping in for the Spitfires.
Here comes Philadelphia's first rounder. Nesbitt waits, shoots, scores! A beauty upstairs over the shoulder of Gatto, and we're 1-1.
Well, Nesbitt waited for Gatto to go down on this play, and then he just flips it up over top of the glove. We have a 1-1 score Henry Brustevich, the defenseman for the London Knights, steps in as the second shooter.
Here comes the LA prospect in Brustevich. Waits. Stopped by Joey Costanzo.
Costanzo does a great job on this play. Brustevich comes in on the angle. He tries to go back over top of the pad. You can see he stacked the pad and put the glove over top of it. As Greentree steps in now for the Spits, the captain.
Another LA first rounder. Here's Greentree. Waits, shoots. Gatto makes the set.
Well, Sebastian Gatto follows him right across as Greentree tries to pick the low glove side as he's coming across. Gatto has nothing to do with it. He stuffs that as we get Ryan Brown, the Knights' leading scorer this season.
Here's Ryan Brown. Slowly and across the line. Now speeds up. Waits, shoots. He scores!
That's a two-speed. He goes in slow over the blue line, and then all of a sudden he turns the jets on, and he gets Costanzo to go down. He goes upstairs over the glove, and the game rides on the stick of Woodall.
Here comes Woodall. Can he tie it up? Woodall shoots, scores! Through the legs, and Woodall ties this hockey game up again.
Well, Woodall finds the 5-hole as he comes across, and he gets Gatto to move. Gatto couldn't get the stick down in time. As Will Nickel, one of the goal scorers in tonight's hockey game for the Knights.
Here comes the Edmonton draft pick, Will Nickel. Stopped by Joey Costanzo, and now the Spitfires have a chance to win here in the shootout.
Well, you can see Nickel tries to find the 5-hole, but Costanzo gets the paddle down on the play as we have Harvey stepping in. If he scores, the game's over.
Slowly at the blue line. Will he speed up? Wade shoots, pass, save, Gatto.
Well, Harvey tries to go blocker side on Gatto, and Gatto follows him all the way across. You can see he gets the blocker out in front. Now, Jackson Cover, one of the 620 goal scorers among rookies, steps in for the Knights.
Here's Cover. Slowly and across the line, goes wide. Now back into the middle. Cover waits, all kinds of moves. Waits, shoots, he scores!
Well, Jackson Cover gets Joey Costanzo to bite on a couple of moves well out, and he loses his balance. Cover goes underneath Costanzo. Now the pressure goes to the Windsor Spitfires, and this is Cole Davis.
Here's Cole Davis. Shoots, pad, save, Gatto! London wins it. Shootout. London Knights win it 3-2 in the shootout. Stay tuned for Sophie and the postgame. Holly Gully, Yamaha, Knights Hockey, Rogers TV. Bring the family to Pizza Hut's all-you-can-eat buffet. Fresh pizzas, pasta, and salads, something for everyone. Great taste, great time, all in one place. Pizza Hut, where family meals are unforgettable.
When I do becomes I'm done.
Talk to the family law experts at Drake Law. Divorce doesn't have to be a fight, but when there's a lot at stake, call Drake. DrakeLaw.ca.
Coulter's has been the family pharmacy London has trusted for over 50 years. From personalized medication advice, vaccinations, and pharmacists qualified to assess health issues. At Coulter's Pharmacy, get the customized care that is right for you. You can trust Progressive Countertop to bring design to the surface in your home with beautiful Canadian-made quartz surfaces like Handstone, manufactured locally in London. Progressive Countertop is a smart choice for Canadian-made quality and expert installation. Vector offers recovery and performance programs to improve your quality of life. Their active therapy approach helps with pain, mobility, and strength. Located in London, Ontario, they focus on personalized care to support your wellness journey.
At IDS, we have the tools your business needs to be successful, from office printing to communications and full IT services. IDS allows our clients to focus on what they do best.
Everybody knows not to drink and drive, but some people still think it's okay to take drugs and drive. Police have the authority, the ability, and the tools to determine if drivers are impaired by legal or illegal drugs. And because drug-impaired drivers can pose just as great a risk as drunk drivers, they face the same penalties, like the loss of their driver's license, a criminal record, fines, and more. A message from the RCMP, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Tune into the Paul Harper Show on Jack 102.3 weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. Jack 102.3, 80s, 90s more. I'd like to welcome back in Rick and Greg. Gentlemen, the London Knights win it.
What a thriller here in downtown London tonight. Rick, let's take a look at the period summary brought to you by Banbury Enterprises.
Well, Liam Greentree is the one that tied this hockey game up in the third period. There was a minute and 29 seconds when Greentree recorded his 37th. The rebound comes straight back to him. He has a wide open cage. It's a 2-2 hockey game at that point. That's a big point for the Windsor Spitfires. And then Jackson Covert gets Costanzo off his feet and then pushes it underneath him. That's the game-winning goal as Jackson Covert scores in the shootout, and then Sebastian Gatto stops Cole Davis, and the London Knights waltz out of Canada Life Place tonight with a 3-2 victory. The Knights were 0 for 1 on the power play as the Windsor Spitfires 1 for 2 with the manpower advantage. That was Nesbitt. He scored the power play goal tonight for the Spitfires. The Knights won 43% of the draws in tonight's game. The Spitfires controlled that draw in the third period specifically. They win 57%. Shots on goal, 42-37. Check that, 42-27 through 3 periods and an overtime period.
Well, as we said, a thriller here tonight at Canada Life Place. But Rick, let's take a look at that ever popular out-of-town scoreboard tonight.
And everybody's watching the out-of-town scoreboard in tonight's hockey game. And of course, the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds handle the Saginaw Spirit tonight 5-1 up in Sault Ste. Marie. So for the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, that gives them 84 points. Of course, the London Knights, they win in here in a shootout against the Windsor Spitfires. They have 85 points. Guelph, they take the Owen Sound attack down tonight in Guelph, and that gives the Guelph Storm the 6th seed in the Western Conference. And of course, the Saginaw Spirit, they're back down to the 8th seed now as things tighten up. We've got 2 days left in the regular season, and nothing has been decided in the Western Conference yet.
Yeah, you got that right. It's incredible, and as it should be in the Western Conference. Let's take a look at Gatto's work tonight. Man, he's been hot ever since Christmas, Rick.
Well, Sebastian Gatto is the reason that the London Knights take a win out of Canada Life Place tonight. He faced 42 shots in here from the Windsor Spitfires in 4 periods. And Sebastian Gatto makes 40 saves on the evening. He makes big save after big save. And he has all kinds of confidence now as Gatto has been outstanding for the London Knights ever since the calendar turned over to 2026. Gatto has taken over the #1 spot for the London Knights. There's no doubt in my mind that he's going to start the playoffs for the Knights, as he's been outstanding all season long, but particularly when the pressure was on, Sebastian Gatto comes up big as he records the shootout win here tonight for the London Knights. A big 2 points. That keeps them in 4th place above the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, who took 2 points out of the GFL Center up in Sault Ste. Marie tonight.
Well, let's just set this up one more time. The Knights are in Flint tomorrow night. Windsor is in Sault Ste. Marie on Sunday afternoon. The Knights only need a point, or they don't need to lose in regulation time.
That's exactly what the case is. The London Knights, of course, want to win at Flint tomorrow night. However, the Flint Firebirds, they want to win against the London Knights, because the row between Windsor and Flint now is 40 apiece. Now the Windsor Spitfires are 2 points up on the Flint Firebirds, so the Firebirds are in a position where they have to take 2 points out of tomorrow night's hockey game. Now they'd like to do it in regulation time. That would give them the row against the Windsor Spitfires, regulation and overtime wins. So they would end up with the 2nd seed if they can take 2 points in regulation or overtime tomorrow night at the Dort Financial Center. I've got to love the London Knights with regards to a very young hockey club.
Yeah.
This is how you build a championship pedigree in a hockey club. We thought that possibly the London Knights, when they traded things away at the deadline and the 19-year-olds went out and they brought the 17-year-olds in, and certainly we felt that the London Knights would probably fall in the standings. Instead, they're now in 4th in the Western Conference, and they have the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds chasing them for home ice advantage in round number 1.
Yeah, and the Sioux was basically leading it right up to this past Wednesday in that 4th seed. And we already know the London Knights are going to play the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. We've known that for basically weeks now. This is all about home ice advantage, and you know what this 9,000 plus can help out a hockey club.
Well, we saw it in here tonight. They lifted this hockey club on a couple of occasions. Now, the Knights tried to sit back in that 3rd period and limit the opportunities for the Windsor Spitfires. They tried to stack them up at the blue line. That backfired on them. However, in the shootout, the London Knights prevail over the Windsor Spitfires, the 2nd time they beat them in extra time or a shootout this season.
We know, as I mentioned, the Knights will play the Sioux, whether they start here